When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver.
Good evening, good night, everyone. Good night, good night, good night. Welcome to our special edition of the Make We Talk program this evening. We're going to have with us as our guest Dr. Rupert Francis, chairman of the Jamaican Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force, Joan Webley, Luke George Cooke. We're going to speak about the call to action that is going on in the Jamaican diaspora, and also the Speaker of the House of Parliament. Get their views on what is going on in the Parliament of Jamaica, as opposition leader Mark Golden is calling for the Speaker of the House to apologize to Ms. Curtis. We're just awaiting Dr. Francis to come back on with us. We're going to speak to him pertaining to the call to action and the letter that is being sent out to the Jamaican ambassador and to the Foreign Affairs Ministry in particular. And also we're going to speak about the upcoming May 10th protest, a call to action protest put on by the Jamaican diaspora and others. Dr. Francis, are you with us as yet? Well, as soon as he get back, we'll speak to him. There are so many things going on. There are so many things going on. Before I came on air, somebody sent me something from a transport group in Jamaica, where owner of a go-go club in Montego Bay, one of those nightclubs in Montego Bay, she was gunned down in front of her nightclub a short while ago by gunmen. My. She was gunned down. And yet they're saying crime is going on in the country. It begs to ask the question, are these people telling the truth of what is going on in Jamaica? Are they hiding the truth from the Jamaican people? Those are the things that's going on in the country. And that is why Jamaicans from all walks of life decide that enough is enough. So this evening we're going to speak to Dr. Rupert Francis pertaining to the plans for the call to action group. Dr. Francis, are you with us now?
Yes.
We cannot see you at all. Uh-oh. What happened there now? He was on all along? Oh.
That's all on there all along.
Yes. But we can't see. I don't know what's going on. It's going in and out. No, he was on all along, and now the thing is just going on and off.
Why? I don't know what to tell you.
Don't touch anything. This is weird. It was up all along, and now it's going on and off.
Yeah,
Dr. Francis?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. I can hear, but we can't see you.
No, I can't understand. Why not? I'm going to leave the student and come back in.
Please do, and come back in with the camera on.
Okay.
Thank you. We're trying to get Dr. Rupert Francis, head of the Jamaican Diaspora Crime Intervention Prevention Task Force, to speak to us the plans that they have for May 10th, the call to action group, the plan that they have for May 10th, we Jamaicans gathering in New York City, Jamaicans from all walks of life gathering in New York City to speak to the Jamaicans over there, to stand up to what they believe in. We're waiting the arrival of Miss Webley and also George Cooke to come on. Waiting on them to come on with us here. I must say good afternoon or good night to my auntie who is watching us. Yes, Dr.
I have no idea why the camera is not.
Yes, Dr. Francis, welcome to the program. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, well,
we're not seeing you, but it's all right.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My apologies. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. We're waiting for Mr. Cooke to come on. George Cooke will be with us soon. I don't know what's going on with Dr. Francis' system. It was on good as ever, and now it's going in and out. All right, Dr. Francis. Thank you very much. I have 10,000 subscribers. I must say thanks to all my subscribers for subscribing to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Dr. Francis?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Don't touch anything. Just let it stay where it is. Dr. Francis, there's a letter circulating in the Jamaica Gleaner pertaining to the call to action, well, pertaining to the Jamaican diaspora what they're having in Jamaica. So in other words, what we did was to counteract what they're having. So your views on what is going on in the newspaper, sir?
Well, you know, I think the newspaper got it fairly right. Except that many people think that we're trying to usurp the other what should I say, diaspora conference. But that's not the end goal. The end goal, because we want to look at what their agenda is, we listen to their presentations for the beginning, and we want to know what the agenda is going to be, if it is going to be focused on just selling, entertaining, and feel good, you know, rather than informing, inspiring, and working with the diaspora. And so when we listened to the speeches, we were of the opinion that the case was that they're presenting the Jamaica perspective to the diaspora. It was not a sort of a collaboration as we had expected. So that is what is the issue. There's no collaboration here. It would appear that means that the diaspora board would be almost irrelevant because they had no little input. Because how can you, for example, you know, we don't want to stop the show. What we are saying is we want to know at the end of the show that we have achieved something. other than entertainment. We love Jamaica, and we know Jamaica is good at entertainment, etc., etc. And but at the same time, there are other issues that needs to be resolved at home and abroad. Many of the diasporans, a lot of people think that diasporans are not behind us. Well, we're going to prove that absolutely wrong, because the responses have been on the talk shows. You have how many subscribers already? Countless of views. On the day of the protest, there were almost 40,000 people watching what was going on in Florida. And so no one can say that we're just also ran or just a 9-day wonder. And so we just want people to know that we are there, we are working, and we want to put this thing together properly so that everyone can benefit, especially those in the diaspora as well, or feel a part of it. And that's it. There's no hidden agenda. Because before we got this letter out, the second letter, and this notion to have, and by the way, let me just tell you how this thing will work. That's how we planned it. That they would have their conference in the day. Now, I'm not saying that there are some people who don't want to see the conference. They don't think we should go to the conference. I know that. But at the same time, I think the general feeling is that all we want to do is to listen to what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, and then we would be able to comment on it as a news person would after somebody has spoken, or after a presentation in the evening of each event. That's what we're talking about.
Dr. Francis, it is also stated in the letter, in the news article, rather, in the Jamaica Gleaner, about the logo. I had the privilege this afternoon to be today to be on Best 100 FM with Miss Webley. She is a talk show host in Jamaica. She's gonna be on my program pretty soon. And I sent back an apology to her pertaining to the logo, because I thought the logo was your logo. But I was reliably informed that it's something that we it's on the Google, where we can Google it, and then we change the colors and everything. And you were the first person who had this.
One of the first persons, not me alone. One of several. Other people, yes, but there are other people who had it, and they used it. There's a thing called Calling All Jamaica, and there's a lot of things that all the other task forces, where they could have used it if they had wanted to, but they maybe chose not to do it. I don't know.
So what is the problem between you using the logo and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Jamaica is saying something about some problem with the logo?
I just can't understand it. I think the problem is not with the logo. The problem is with me. And they cannot say that I did not serve. They cannot say that I did not serve with distinction, because they said that I have letters to show that they did, and said it. So they're trying to get out from under it to say, well, boy, that's the only thing that they could have. If they could say I had some nefarious thing in mind, or I'd stolen the emblem or something like that. But as far as I'm concerned, that was one from day one. We put up our task force, and it was approved. Everything was approved by the ambassador. I mean, and if she wants a letter that she wrote, then I'll get it. I'll find it and share it. So I don't know. The problem is you are using it, but what they should be concerned about is that they have a group of persons who is supposed to be leading the diaspora. All nice persons, very nice people, and all that sort of thing. I have no problem with them. But the fact of the matter is that it is Jamaicans who are not in the diaspora who are the head. Mr. Terry Long is the junior minister in the ministry. He's the number one. Then there are two other persons that don't really know their names, but they know their status is heavy, because they are the ones who are leading the what's going on, and that is not right. You can't have none of our members as part of the direction and know anything about doing what we're doing right now. It is all the decision of the Jamaican contingent. Yes, we have nothing to do with it.
So Dr. Francis, some are saying that you know the new Jamaica diaspora convention we're gonna have is we're trying to break up. We're trying to disrupt the other Jamaican diaspora convention that they're having in Jamaica. You want to elaborate on that, sir? Oh Lord.
I think that is totally wrong. I think listen to me. On my level, I'll be honest with you and straight up. I do not believe that Jamaica should be running the diaspora. No, I've come to that conclusion. Because this is the one of the, if not the first and only diaspora that is being run by the country for which we serve. I think all the other diasporas run themselves and do their own thing. In fact, from knowledge, we helped other diasporas to shape themselves. From what I understand, most of the persons who originated the idea of the diaspora, you know, they help them to start to creep, and then they walk, and many of them are way ahead of us. Okay? The problem we are having in Jamaica is a matter of some people feeling that they're above reproach, and some people feel that they are the ones who should make all the decisions, and they do not believe that us in the diaspora have any common sense or any sense at all. Those are the conclusions, some of the conclusions I've drawn. I know it may sound harsh to you, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not harsh, because we offered, after the first protest, we offered in another letter to the ambassador, who is the right person to write to, because she's our representative, to say we can talk. And there was
sorry, did she ever reply back to you, Dr. Francis, in the first letter you wrote to her, sir?
Neither the first nor the second. And I'm sure if she's the third, she will not reply either.
Do you have any reason why they don't reply to you, sir?
Well, they don't like what I'm doing. And they don't like what we are doing.
Yeah.
And they would like to think I'm a lone ranger, but I'm not. And what they're surprised at is the following that we have been getting, and the traction that we've been getting worldwide. And what is not going to go away. It's going to get worse or better, depending on who is looking at it. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, if you don't understand what is going on, then you just don't understand. But I know they understand. But I think it's a question of pride. And I have other words I could use, but I'm going to be easy today. Okay?
Why?
They think I'm crazy, but I am not. They think I'm bad mind. I'm not. I have served my country in several respects and honorably, and I think I have a right to talk for the next generation, and from this generation and the next generations to come. I think that's right. I think I'm, you know, and I would love to, those persons who are out there who don't never seen me before, I'm sure they've seen me anyway. They would see that I'm being frank and being clear and being reasonable about my arguments. Or not my arguments alone, as I said. I'm not alone. They'd like it to be that I'm alone, but I'm not. It's not an easy road.
Go ahead, sir.
It's not an easy road. It's not an easy road because the people in our diaspora also, for whatever reason, has taken a stance as well. Some of them have taken a stance. Of course, as many have taken a stance, there are other people who have, you know, and some don't want to be named and some want to be named, right?
Yeah.
But sooner or later, these people are going to decide to support outright. And what are they going to do then? Are they going to sideline everybody? Are they going to call them names? Are they going to find things? Listen, there's so many things that are happening in the diaspora that diaspora should pay attention. I'm told today, for example, by one listener on the radio program, that there are homeless people in South Florida, Jamaica.
Yes, Jamaican homeless people, I was told.
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe that there's homeless people in South Florida and nobody, apparently, except one or two, are doing anything about it. Jamaicans, Right. I don't know. I can't even fathom that.
It was brought to my attention by a very good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on for me, please. It was brought to my attention by a good friend of mine. I'm trying to get through to Miss Webley. It was brought to my attention by a good friend of mine that there is a lot of Jamaicans in South Florida who are homeless and they have a status problem. I'm not sure if that is true. And, you know, I don't know if the Jamaican Council General is aware of that. Is it the same thing you're hearing, Dr. Francis?
Same thing I've heard. Same thing I've heard. And I was shocked because I didn't know that was possible. And you know, I would imagine a couple of people could be this, you know, can be out there and, you know, got some mental issues, or possibly it's possible, that's possible. But I didn't believe that a Jamaican who is in their mind, you know, in that they're well, you know, and so on, could do something like that, or could be in that position. I know there are unreasonable people everywhere, and we have homeless people in Jamaica too, but at the same time, now, and not in the United States, when we're allowing people to come into the United States without even, and giving them housing, giving them money, and they've not been here a day or two. I don't know what the reason is.
Let me ask the question, Dr. Francis, as you're on that point. What do you think the Jamaican Diaspora Crime Intervention Task Force could do about that?
Well, honestly, it's not. We can't work on our own. No one can work on their own.
Yes,
this
sir.
is going to take collaboration, cooperation, and commitment from us Jamaicans to see that from a humanitarian point of view. And I don't. There are many people out there who are more prolific than I am, who have more draw, more appeal. If we all join together, that will be the day. You know, if we could join together, I'm sure we could make an impact, and we were serious about it. Because if we can go abroad and do it, in our own country or wherever, why not do it here? I don't know if people really of Jamaican heritage could know that they're not that they're going to take them inside their homes or anything, but know that we have Jamaicans out there who are suffering. Some of it is their own fault, of course. You know, they never planned ahead, they never did that. And so some of them maybe just, you know, it's just bad luck.
Yes.
Right. And so therefore, I mean, it's a humanitarian situation. But why are we surprised? You know, I think it can also be man, I don't even want to think about it, to be quite honest with you. Because it is so shameful that we could have people who are homeless and what have you, and we are there sprouting out other things, and we don't really look after our homeless. I can't believe that.
Well, if they don't look after the homeless, go ahead.
We have people who have issues, medical issues, housing issues, and so on. I know of a few people that have those things, and I would love to see something done about that. And if we all came together and work as one, we could do something. I think we could.
But Dr. Francis, when we see something like this that is going on, you know, one will think that the Jamaican Council General in Miami would have reached out or tried to find out what is going on with the Jamaicans, if there is any Jamaicans that are homeless in South Florida.
I cannot speak for the Consul General. I cannot, and I will not. I know he's well regarded, he's well loved within the area of South Florida and the other 13 states, and he is a man of influence.
Yes.
I have a lot of influence, and if he were to put his hand on that or something, he would make a tremendous difference. He's the one who has really helped more clinics in Jamaica than many people I know. Every year he has something to build or to construct or to put together clinics for poor people in Jamaica. And if he can do it there, then he can do it here, I'm sure. You know, there's a lot of people that, and there are large companies out there they knew. I'm sure they would be able to do it. You know. Yes.
Hold on for me, Dr. Francis. Miss Webley, we're not seeing you at all.
No, I'm recognizing that my camera is not showing up. Evening, everyone. I'm as long as I'm live. I hope you can hear my voice at least.
Yes, you're live. Yes.
With the camera. Okay. Good evening, Make Talk. Good evening, Dr. Francis.
Good evening, my dear Joan. How are you?
I am blessed. Thank you.
You may have to go back out and come back in.
No, well, she did. I did that. I think somebody has messed up your system, brother.
No. I used the system about 10 minutes before I came on.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't come up when I came on.
And there was no problem. So maybe you have to go back out and come back in and make sure your camera and your mic is on.
My mic is on. And mic. Let's see what.
I think that's what we need to do.
Okay.
Good if the viewers.
Okay, hold on.
The viewers could get to see, that'd be very good. This is the Make We Talk program. We're gonna have Miss Webley and Dr. Rupert Francis on to speak to us. We're gonna speak about what is going on in the Parliament. We're speaking about the call to action group and the Jamaican Diaspora. You're live in here. And we're gonna speak about what is going on within the Parliament, the halls of the Parliament of Jamaica, where the Speaker is being called upon to apologize to Miss Curtis. And quite frankly, I don't think she's gonna, well, quite frankly, I think she needs to resign herself. But I don't think she's gonna apologize about anything. So we're gonna get the views of Miss Webley and that and other issues that is facing the land of wood and water. There is no water in the pipes, in some of the pipes in Jamaica. Negril don't have any water. The Minister of Water went down there and he didn't even speak to the mayor, much as the councillors them down there. Some people in St. Thomas don't have any water. So, you know, we know what is going on here. There is a lot of issue going on. Okay, hold on. Let me take this studio out. There you go. Welcome, Miss Webley.
Are we here? Greetings, Dr. Tavares. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm doing good. Welcome to the Make We Talk program. It was an honor to be on your program today.
Thank you so much for calling in on the first episode on such short notice as well. You added a lot of value to the program. And so I had to return the favor. I'm apologizing to you and your viewers for being a little bit late in getting off the road, but I'm just glad to join.
That's okay. That's okay. What is your views? Well, before you go any further, tell us who you are.
Okay. That's in a nutshell. My name is Joan.
In a nutshell.
My name is Joan Elizabeth Webley. Many people also know me as or for Nanook, which is a cultural space that I used to run. I am first and foremost a Jamaican. I'm currently residing mostly outside of Jamaica, even though I'm here in Jamaica now. I live most of the time in Europe. I am an attorney, an intellectual property attorney. I've been working in IP consulting in Jamaica in various projects in film, in music, just trying to really see how we can use what I think is one of our greatest cultural resources, which is our culture, to shift society forward and to kind of elevate the standard of living for everyone. And I've been doing that for about 15 years now. And I'm still committed to doing that. And so today you were a guest on my radio show. This is the second time around that I'm on the air. I was on Hot 102 for a brief moment back in 2013. And no, was it 2016? This today was the first episode of Jamaica First, a program I'm introducing on Best 100 FM, which is a national radio station in Jamaica. And it's a weekly look at how we can build the bridge and connect the dots, make sure that people recognize it's not them in the diaspora against them in Jamaica. It's an all of us for Jamaica. How do we move together?
Sorry, you were at our protest. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
You were at our first protest in Miami, and I end up having you to speak on the Make Talk program.
Mm-hmm.
There is another protest happening in New York on May 10th. Based on what you saw in New York, in Miami, what was your views on what you saw?
First and foremost, first thing I would want to say is I don't think there is anyone, I don't know that there's any one right way that's going to move us forward. So
Yes.
I applaud and respect anyone that is trying to make a positive effort, is trying to make a difference. You know what I mean? Whether it's working in a committee, whether it's writing letters, whether it's attending conferences, or whether it's as you are doing, organizing protests. So action over talking is something that I have great respect for. I showed up in that spirit and wanting to meet other persons who were like me. Obviously, if you're doing something like that, you obviously care about Jamaica. So first and foremost, above and I said it then and I'll say it again now, it was a great opportunity to meet someone like yourself, to meet other Jamaicans who remain connected to and caring for Jamaica. So I think that in and of itself is a great thing. And I also resonate with a lot of the issues shared. So it made sense for me to be there. I have concerns, as everyone has, about the levels of corruption and other issues within our nation. And on top of that, I'm even more concerned about all of what we're not getting the opportunity to do. So today on Jamaica First, we were talking about Jam Dem, which is the new program that Ministry of Foreign Affairs is introducing. I am big on solutions. As much as I'm big on actions, I'm big on constructive action and solutions. So if they are creating this vehicle, I'm hoping that it's going to solve what is a problem. There is a real problem. I'm out there in the diaspora and it feels totally disconnected. It feels difficult to be able to engage and to be able to strengthen the society in ways that we can and want to. So, uh, bearing that in mind, again, I'm not going to tell anybody what is the right or wrong way to do it. So if a protest is planned for New York and you see that there was great value gained by the last one, then by all means, anyone who is in New York and resonates with these issues should go down, should meet each other Jamaicans. That's and communication I'm for. My one slight concern is I just don't know how, I'm not certain how we move the needle forward with these protests. The fact is communication requires that two-way street. So the fact you shared with me that the letters that have been written aren't being answered, that is concerning. And I think more formal communication needs to be continuing. We need to be writing more letters, stating, we refer to the earlier letters that have not been replied to, because you need to be making sure that we're engaging in a responsible and constructive way, whilst also exploring whatever means are legally necessary and available.
Yes. Hold on for me, Dr. Francis. I'll let you answer. I have with us joining us now human rights activist, Mr. Luke George Cooke. Luke, welcome to the program. Give me a minute, please. I'll go back to Dr. Francis. Dr. Francis, do you want to answer Ms. Webley's question pertaining to the letters that has been written to the ambassador? 2 letters have been written to the ambassador, and you haven't gotten a reply.
Listen, if I had written Joan, she'd have replied to me a long time. So and every time she smiles, I see somebody else, and I'm taken aback by it. So she can explain that. But the problem is, Miss J, I would call you that. It seems caring is the key. Do we really care? Do we want to collaborate? Do we want to compromise? Do we want to communicate? The 3 C's, do we? And I believe that, it's like the Pied Piper. They want to play the music, you should jump and you should go do a drown at the end of it. And that is sad, but it is becoming more relevant to me right now because what can I say? I'm told by my friends, some of my family members, why didn't I do it another way? So I said, okay. And by the way, I'm not alone, as you're well aware, and we're not alone. We're not alone when we speak on so we're speaking for a lot of persons. Jeffrey can really tell you about that, and anybody else who has platforms. And yourself, you'll find out sooner or later. Everybody will call you and asking you, what your thoughts are. And sincerity is key. Let them prove that I am not sincere. Let them prove that I am not courageous. Let them prove that I am not a patriot. And what does it mean for being a patriot? I'm not going around shooting my brothers and sisters. I'm not going around trying to render them homeless. I'm not going around not providing them the necessities to make them live a decent life.
Living.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not doing that. All I'm saying is my brothers and sisters who know me very well, I've never shirked away from it. I thought I was doing the right thing. Some things happened to me while I was in the political. And now I look back and I say, oh, that's the reason why. Oh, you know what I mean? We need to get away from that. You don't have to like me to work with me. If I have something to offer and it is genuine, let's work with it. And so, but everybody, I'm not a yes man. Okay? I will work with you if it is feasible and it is just. And I'm not, a paragon of virtue to that I can, I bend, I'm flexible. You understand me? But depends on how much you want me to flex. If you want me to flex and break my back, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to, as best as possible. If I give you my word, I keep it. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying to you, I know a lot of good people in politics, and they mean well, but somewhere along the line, things seem to have gotten out of whack. So here we are. So we decided, I decided, and a number of my colleagues decided that we're going to change the paradigm. And if we can. But I do believe we can because the people are out there talking, and I've seen signs of it. So that's my thing. Yeah. So that's the answer.
Let me welcome in Luke George Cooke. Luke, welcome to the program. Mr. Cooke?
Remember, them jamming my internet, so if you don't hear me, there's one of the 3 internet at my house that seems to be working.
Okay.
Jeffrey, you can hear me? Mic testing, mic testing, 1, 2.
Yes, we can hear you now. Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead. Luke, you can hear me? Go ahead.
I don't know what is the situation, but I find. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, you're going in and out, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know what's wrong with the internet, Jeffrey. Flow and Digital is making a mess of us.
Lord of mercy. We're having a bad connection.
I had the same problem the other day. So
is it because the sun
you still can hear me?
Today? Yes, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Oh Lord. I don't think Mr. Cooke is hearing me.
Of the corruption. I'm hearing you. The sun and the moon eclipse that tell all of us who are forward-thinking people that the time is coming where the greater King of Kings and the Lords of Lords and the conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah is about to.
Oh
and
Lord.
that he was completely removed. Wow. Sorry, before he joins us, may I ask a question, please, Jeffrey?
Go ahead, Doctor. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, Dr. Francis. The article came out today. I don't know if anyone has shown you your photo here.
Yes. I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit older than that, I think.
So we have it here, page 2.
Wow. That's nice. That's nice.
But they're speaking about, and we spoke about it on Jamaica First, about the parallel diaspora conference.
Yes.
So this is something that's planned for being in Jamaica or out of Jamaica at the same time?
We are doing what do you call it? Electronic
a virtual.
Yeah, virtual conference. And all it is, Joan, my dear, is that, and by the way, congratulations on all your accolades. I forgot to say that, but you know, you have to understand, age is just, you know, go already. Anyway, so what happens is that we are trying to say, look, have your conference, but at the end of it, we are going to dissect it. We're not saying not to have your conference. I am not. I can say that. Some people might want to do that, but I am saying have the conference, but give us, since we're not made part of the conference, we were not asked to partake in it in any way, shape, or form. Right? Not even the Jamaica Diaspora people will ever say it. They were not. It's run by Jamaica. And never in all of what we're doing with the diasporas worldwide have we seen the country take over the diaspora. And that's all it is. So we're saying, no, we want to say in it.
In what? In what, Rupert?
Say in the conference, we want to be able to.
No, but Rupert, Dr. Francis, with all respect, look here. Almost 750 Jamaicans come across the border. They're living in New York and other cities out on the street. Some of them are experiencing inhumane condition. Biannually, Jamaicans with them top pocket come to listen to lies. They never once walked out of that conference and said, well, we're going to talk to the ordinary Jamaican. And they expect that when them come, we must lord and master them, you know. And they're upset because we don't appreciate what they are doing for us. What are you doing for us? We don't even know what the Jamaican diaspora is, because it's almost like these people never lived in communities. So they don't, as part of their own understanding of what the ordinary Jamaicans hear. I'm not saying that there are not men and women in the diaspora who are not sincere, but I cannot see in this day and age that you would come and listen to a corrupt government if you weren't corrupt yourself. And if you are doing so much, I remember in COVID, when they said over 700 tablets come to Jamaica, when they give the Jamaican government how much money and they can't account for it. So why would you come to listen to them?
Well, because they like to be thought.
Oh, you like to be lied to? Oh, they like that song, no, Tell Me a Lie?
Look. Hold on. Hold on, pull up a second. You know what I'm going to say is? Listen to me. In our mind's eye, the Crime Task Force, we have several tentacles, as you well know. We are doing and we're not advertising. This is the thing. You see, a lot of people think that, for example, the diaspora has not done. We have people going on missions, medical and all that sort of thing, and doing this, but we never shout about it. Okay? But these people are the shouters.
Good to eat, good for talk.
All I'm saying, Luke is quite correct. But last time I was down there at the conference, I went to Majestic Gardens and played dominoes with the children for half a day and played, ball and all that sort of thing. We arranged that through what's his name? He has a Jamaica Cares, right? And so on. So we did that, and we're continuing to do that. We're in other places as well. I don't want to call any names because this is calling.
Rupert.
Yes.
Dr. Francis, I'm not. You hear what I say? Because my argument and balance, I not say somehow and I do not know. But the majority of people who come to this conference hears from the government. Now, no government is going to give a bad report about themselves. And I think that if you're going to be effective in your deliverable, you need to talk to the people who are being affected or who are benefiting directly from yours. That is, to me, how you can properly serve somebody. If I'm aware of what your needs are, I know I've been given this to the Jamaican government, we need to have the checks and balance. So I will just say that. But there are still 750,000 Jamaicans who are now in the United States who have escaped this country either for political persecution, sexual lifestyle, who have gone through trauma after trauma. And just this weekend alone, 2 of them, I'm living in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, and I was looking shelter for people to put up people temporarily who were put out on the street. One young lady was subjected to all sorts of inhumane condition. And if you can't even serve that community, there effectively. Everybody else is serving their community. The Chinese migrant, them look out for the Chinese migrant. The Indian, why we not doing something with those people who the trauma of coming through those tunnels and climbing that fence and jumping and breaking, some of them brought them by the ladder. Let us, if we're gonna serve Jamaica, and we're going to do it to the best of our ability, let us do so. So the thing is that I could not sit in any meeting with the government of Jamaica on both political sides because they have to go through the Truth and Reconciliation. This weekend alone, a young man in Arnett Garden, who was a deportee from the United States, who embodies what the Jamaican diaspora should be doing, came here, cook food, care to old people, who embraced this whole idea of uniting jungle, was shot and killed eight times. And the people in Jamaica, in jungle have kept their mouth shut. At what point are they going to kill enough of us, Rupert, Francis? Just like how them bad mouthing you, the same Jamaicans, instead of what them follow the principle of my grandmother. My grandmother said, my grandson, when you go to church and you hear pastor and preach, eat the meat and spit out the bone, because the bone will turn across your throat and choke you and kill you. You know, and everything you can agree with somebody upon. But as you rightfully say, there are things that the task force have been doing that you could embrace. It is the same Jamaicans, you know, who are bashing you behind your back instead of with work for one common goal, that the quality of life for the Jamaican people will be better off, and that we will try to end corruption in our political and all spheres of of life, so that the Jamaican people can be better off. Because if you listen to the lies that the government is telling, none of us need a visa to come to the United States. None of us need the diaspora, because the government of Jamaica successfully put the Jamaican economy on such a footage that there is no poverty. All of us are just basking in prosperity. And that is the
Prosperity.
notion
Yes.
that the diaspora should kick back on. So is it that, Rupert, we have found another method of creating money other than depending on tourism? Why are we giving almost 11 new hotels to foreigners?
Luke, I think we have lost the connection with Luke. Miss Webley,
He came in
based
chopping.
based on what Luke was just saying, the diaspora is down there. There are so many issues that is facing Jamaica. At one point, the Jamaican diaspora sent how much money during COVID to help with coronavirus and everything. And until now, nobody can give an account of how much money, where the money disappeared to. Nobody can give an account of where the money that the VP for the United States give to the Prime Minister.
What is the saying? What is the saying, Jeffrey? Without knowledge of the past, you're like a tree without roots.
And
This
without
is
knowing
not
where
a
the money
no
we're going.
story. You know,
Yes.
I listened to what Luke George had to say, and first up, I was so glad that he went all of the places that he went to, because he was very balanced. It was an
Yes.
unbiased and real reflection of how people feel. You know, there are these two very extreme perspectives, and of course, there's people in the middle on either side. But on the one hand, there is very much the feeling of, are we not needed as the diaspora? Are we not of any value? And then there's there's the feeling, because I'm newly to the diaspora, so as someone who was down here working, it felt very much as if um the superior there can feel like a superior attitude coming in, rather than the collaboration and the genuine connection that we want. This is the solution, though. This is why I'm on the program tonight. It's constructive conversation. If the Jam Dem portal isn't the solution, we need to devise a solution that matches the Jamaicans in the diaspora wanting to do certain works with the Jamaicans here on the ground who are doing those works. That bridge building is what is essential. That is the game changer in so many ways. And once that collaboration starts in a way that makes dollars and cents for people, then I feel like we're going to see that bigger shift in the society that's required. Because Lou George pointed it out, it's not a lie. Jamaica, yes, there are signs of development or signs of prosperity in the nation, but you don't have to scratch the surface very deep to look and see that it is not for all. It is not for all of the people, that prosperity. So and the gap really seems to be widening in terms of the haves and the have-nots, which is not a situation that's going to be able to last. It's something going to have come to something. So
And
I'm
sorry, go ahead. Let me kill last one. Go
no,
ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, it cannot be that we have a diaspora that is being headed by the Jamaican Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Every time they have this conference is in Jamaica. They never have a conference in the Jamaican diaspora. They never have a conference in Miami, in New York, or in Washington, or in Canada, or wherever.
And can I just say something? To me, it seems like a really simple situation about structure and organizing this thing. I'm in an even more precarious situation because I'm in the diaspora in Europe. So we're really not even considered in the conversation more times. When really it could be a simple thing like a council, and there's a representative from Ministry of Foreign Affairs and a representative from each of these diaspora groups, that a network. Things like this are really simple to streamline, especially with technology being the way that it is now. There is no reason why we can't have a better connected diaspora or Jamaican community in and out of the island. And that's what we need. Once we're properly connected and we can know who is who, persons can begin to collaborate in the way that they want and in a way that makes a real difference in lives.
Joan, let me tell you something. Let me say this to both of you. These people are afraid of change. And that's the thing,
Because it's not that hard to do. Am I correct? This is not rocket science.
Let me give you a sample. I wasn't feeling so hot today. I was going on the radio and I had to turn back. And
sorry to hear that.
Called me. I had another meeting. I had to, and my colleagues have been gracious enough to say, "Okay, we see you on so you can, And Joan is better looking, so whatever. Not that it didn't say Jeffrey, but the point I'm making is that I'm glad I have colleagues like that, because we have something very important to discuss, and I'm not afraid of speaking about it. But I had changed it from 8, and now we're at 9, and I'm still here. But I think I'm speaking for them, and what we're doing is changing. What we're doing something together that is, we're not tearing each other apart. And that's what they think is dangerous, that we can get together. We can have a Luke, George. Yes, Luke is quite clear, but let me also say this. You have to be careful how you're doing things in Jamaica. Because you can look at a person in a certain way in Jamaica, and you end up, look at this guy who said came down to help, and you end up with 8 shots, I mean, for the simplest thing. So we have a monumental task ahead of us. How do we love ourselves individually, and how do we love our brothers and sisters?
Not just that, but how do we all get out of the barrel that they have built? We really need to understand that we are really all in this thing together. We are in this kind of warped perspective of reality. But when you travel, which is what is the beauty and the blessing for those of us who are out on the diaspora for whatever reason, even though it's not always a bed of roses, you get to see things in perspective. And when we understand that Jamaica is really only 3 million people on the island, it's not that hard to organize and centralize. And our diaspora is what, 5 million? It's still smaller than most major cities in America, Canada, Europe. The technology exists for everyone here in this country to be living at a decent standard of living. We can do this.
Let me tell you something. This country of ours is different and special. Unfortunately, somewhere along the line, we stopped respecting ourselves. We stopped understanding who we really are as Jamaicans, a fun, loving set of people who develop reggae, rum, and running. Right? And running.
And soca.
Yeah, right? And soca, whatever, right? And, people will knock you down, chop you up for nothing. We have to get out of that mindset. We were never there. I don't know how we got there. We're worse than the monsters.
No, but you know, there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of anger. I'm sorry that Luke isn't here to speak to this more because there's a lot of anger and I think pent up frustrations that the people feel because of, you know, it's like that poem, What Happens to a Raisin in the Sun?
Well,
You know, I think that, you know, there's a lot of frustrated potential on this island, and frustrated potential can very easily turn into anger. We need to be facilitating our role out there in the diaspora. I really believe, as I keep saying, is building bridges and facilitating that movement from the factory to market, so that most people can live out their dreams and live a decent standard of living. I keep coming back to it.
Some of us are fortunate enough to have lived in places that we can survive. But in my mother's day, when she had to, we call it greater coconut, make oil and things like that in order to survive and so on and so forth, people look at me and say, "Oh my God, you see this little thing behind me? It must be your house." No, it's fake. The point but I'm not fake. The point I'm trying to make is this: that we have to find a way to love each other. The village, we have to come back to the village. I know you might be preaching to the converted, but I'm just saying to you, how are we people if we can't love ourselves? We love our class more than we love life, right? We love a phone. We take a phone on somebody dying rather than helping them. We don't know. These are issues I am saying fundamentally. And look, George, we'll to speak to it. But the thing I'm trying to make is this, that how do we get there? I think the young people is the answer. The very young people is the answer. I know somebody now who has just torn up themselves and they're going to Jamaica and they want to work with young people. Those are the people we need to move forward, I think.
We're here, and a lot of people are saying to us, we're here talking. Then what is the solution to the problem that we face in our country?
What do you mean, what's the solution? The solution is action.
Hold on for me, Dr. Francis. Hold on for me, sir. And what I would say is this, that we need not only to depend on the people in the diaspora, as what they dubbed us, Joan, that we are the dirty 30.
The dirty 30?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Who is that?
That's what the high up of the society of Jamaica, the people of the Vum in the politics of Jamaica, dubbed all of us who was in Miami the dirty 30.
Am I in the dirty 30?
Apparently so.
You're number 29. You're number 29. You're good.
That is so funny. Oh,
yes.
wow. I have to make a t-shirt.
There you go. Because why I end up saying that? They're saying that we are there, we're there demonstrating and talking whatever, but the Jamaican people don't see that there's a problem. There's no problem in Jamaica.
No problem, man. Is that the line that we're sticking with? That's the slogan we're sticking with in 2024. I mean, it depends on what you want to focus on, of course. And depending on your perspective and what you value in life, Jamaica is still a paradise. We still have amazing weather 12 months of the year. We still have the mountains. We still have the river. We still have the beaches when you can access them. It's just, when you start to look at the reality of what most Jamaicans have to deal with, the fact that a restaurant, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but a restaurant here in Kingston, you have an uptown restaurant like On Court, or I'm going to mention it, and I'm mentioning it in a positive way. It's seen as a good restaurant and, quality, but it's a restaurant that the majority of Jamaicans would never be able to afford to go to on a regular basis. And there are many like it. When in reality, this is something that everyone should be able to enjoy as just a basic quality of life, to be able every now and then to be able to go out for a family treat or have dinner out. It's a random example to draw, and there are many others that I could. But the point that I'm making is that when there are still homes in Jamaica where you have sewage running through, where there's still people that don't have water, there's things that we need to address and bring up a basic level, and then we can start to say there's no problem, man.
John, let me tell you something. I do not desire to go to any of these highfalutin places because food is not as good as my grandmother's food, my friend and food round. I am telling you.
Well, you said them don't even cook it in a Dutch pot.
And I'm not saying that the food is not okay and so on. But let me put it to you this way. I would go on the beach. I have friends who are fishermen. And when I go down, I hang out with them, right in Otres there. And, they cook well. And you live, and so on. And you drink the local things and what have you. And the same thing, but it's just in a different space. Okay? So listen to me.
And that's why they will say Jamaica is still good, because you can still go and enjoy your coconut on the beach, for all intents and purposes.
Well, what we
It's
do
just
have a problem, listen, Joan, we have a discipline problem. I don't know where we get it from. Everything is an argument. Everything is a conflict. Everything is a fight. It doesn't have to be like that. Right?
It's courtesies too. We've lost common courtesies. We used to be, one of the things I used to be proud of as Jamaica, when I remember when I first left Jamaica, I would boast and say to people, oh no, in my country, you can't walk past somebody and not say good afternoon. Somebody bigger than you can't walk past them and not say good afternoon, because that was the Jamaica that I knew. I was being real. That's what Jamaica was when I was growing up. And I don't think I'm that old, but that Jamaica is like it's not to say that people aren't nice here, but that is definitely not the way. People don't even ask full sentences.
You know something?
Ask full questions.
Our values and attitude has gone to a place of no return. We're going to switch gear and go to what is going on in the parliament.
Oh, Lordy.
The Prime Minister of Jamaica walked out on the Jamaican people. He did not walk out on the opposition leader or the PNP. He walked out on the Jamaican people. He came back to the parliament and he didn't even apologize to the Jamaican people. What he did was to big up his mother and his wife and big up himself about he's the best baby father in the history of Jamaica.
It's an unfortunate speech. It's a very unfortunate speech. And from no bastard, no day again to I'm the best baby father.
Yes. And when you have a prime minister, when you have a speaker of the house who is going to be belittled, a civil servant who has served the Jamaican people well. Your take on that, Miss Webley?
There's way too much partying happening in the politics right now. I think there's a complete lack of respect for the Jamaican people and for what we require and deserve as a society. Sometimes when you're watching in Parliament, the theatrics of it's frustrating. It's upsetting, because PBCJ carries the Parliament and you can watch them live sometimes and you just think to yourself, we know that these are human beings, and so we understand that heavy is the head that wears the crown. They have a lot of responsibilities on them. But the manner in which our business is dealt with, and I'm not gonna say it's unique to Jamaican Parliament, because you see it around the world, this kind of behavior, this kind of almost sorority or fraternity house, banter. That is a part of it, and it's not funny, it's not cute. It's none of those things to me, because they're on the job, is what I see as a Jamaican citizen. They're about the business of our nation. And I think, unfortunately, because they stopped teaching us civics and people don't get it, the prevailing attitude, when I talk to people about this, prevailing attitude is, oh, we're no business with them and what they're doing. There's this complete divorce and alienation and separation from the government. It's that Jamaican people have almost given up on them, as evidenced in the low voter turnout. They've pretty much given up on the system. They're not engaged. And as a result, it's kind of like, oh yeah, they're up there doing whatever they're doing, but we can't lose sight of the fact that whatever they're doing invariably has a huge impact on our lives. You know what I mean? It's not just what they're out there doing or the jokes that they're making with each other. They're literally making decisions that are determining our healthcare, that are determining the education that our children receive. What is happening particularly now, I'll wrap it up, because I guess we haven't spoken in so long. I have so much to say.
I mean,
what's happening particularly now with the tabling of the reports and the treatment of the clerk on her exit. Unfortunate is the best word I could say. You know what I mean? It's
Miss Webley, it's not unfortunate. It's characteristic of what we have, the dictatorship. I
Yeah,
heard,
yeah.
I heard our Attorney General, Miss Foote, the other day in a presentation when she was supporting her colleague, Miss Holness. And she said to her, and I was astounded at the fact of the matter that them said the Jamaican people are their boss. And there are some critical discussion that need to be had, but they don't need to be had because we don't need to know these things. We are just a set of plebeians. We are bystander to our own development. So you talk about an illicit six, and if this was government accountable to its people,
Thank you.
you would say to them, well, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. That's the standard of the law. The Speaker
But
of the House,
But Luke George, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but tell the truth. Doesn't it seem like the average Jamaican doesn't even really care about these integrity reports?
no, but Miss Webley, we're so hungry. We can't pay hospital bill. We
Doesn't it
can't
kind of
pay
seem like
school
nobody,
fees.
no, but we don't want to hold them accountable. We don't care.
It's not, you know what has happened, Miss Webley, Stockholm syndrome. Them wrong and strong for so long that we just believe that their justice is just for the abuse of justice is on the liquor man, while the big man have the money, so him have the tax. Him can't get away with
And it's
everything.
not gonna work out anyway. So why bother and
It's
why
not
stick
gonna
your
work.
neck
Why
out and
call
risk your thing? I
when
get it.
when
I get
when
it.
when a man criticize Andrew, them go film him under him bed with camera where him chimney under there and them go take him out and chimney.
Real
But
talk. Real talk.
when when
But we
when
can't get
when
integrity
when
reports that
Ruel
are our
Reid
business
when
in the
Ruel Reid
first place.
when Ruel Reid and Dr. Pinnock was the authority went for them. You know what the lawyer said? These are upstanding citizens. Why
Mm-hmm.
do you have to go for them like vigilante? It is only when them are
Not only that, Luke George, Cooke. Did you remember what the Minister of Justice said? Delroy,
look here. The minister just said the minister, and I put justice beside his name because
the
if
Minister of
any
Injustice.
yeah man,
Mm.
if
What did he say? I didn't hear what he
sometimes the
said. What
minister
did he say?
makes
What
certain
did he say?
utterance.
What did he say?
Sometimes the minister makes certain utterance is that I just have to laugh. Cause brother, you see when them done with it, the youth them in Jamaica now have no respect for the politics, you know. And this is why before me say something, Jeffrey, before me forget it, I miss Webby, just remind me to come back to the point. Stockholm Soldier.
Yeah, man.
You see Rupert Francis? There was a police lady who Rupert, Claudette Powell, North, and Rupert and Southeast Diaspora helped that policewoman who came to the United States. When we in Jamaica don't have anybody for do what is called a liver transplant, we not have, and we not even have a donor program, Miss Webby. In 2024, where people dead every day, about 30 people dead in an accident over the weekend alone. And there were organs that we could have asked their families to donate that would be critical to other people. But even if we have the organ, what is the pool of specialists that we have in Jamaica? So for Jamaicans who are living abroad and want to come home, if you're out here, do you have $2 million to fly you back to your country with the air ambulance? If, for instance, God forbid, something should happen to you and we don't offer that service out here. And this is 2024 that Jamaica, after we say we run the white man, we don't want white man oppression. We get black man oppression, and it's worse. You're not moving the goalpost because in that first place, you have whole heap of people in North America, Canada, and England, and all over the world, you know, where I'm sure one of them I want liver specialist. But you say if them for come back here, we want to create this large bureaucracy for them to come back. So the people them now have no time for that. Them now gonna come back. But it goes back to the point. Me hear her I talk to the speaker, and something she said, Dr. Francis, that it's not even laughable. She said the people them in our parliament don't understand the function of the different branch of government. And hence anything that comes from the Attorney General Chamber as advice to the Speaker of the House, the Speaker has the right to reserve to not
No.
share it. But well, may I
So
finish, man?
her alone understand the parliamentary rules, nobody
Yeah,
else.
man. She
Yes.
alone. But here what I find funny. How come the Attorney General not said to the Speaker of the House, you have a court matter on land before the court? Because that are not something where that are not something where somebody tell we. We see you in a paper, a fight with a woman for land. Me don't know where you are the woman at. But how it read, it never sounds so good. And it left one to think, Miss Oldest could be very well be right, you know. But if I me now as Speaker of the House, me I go say, look here. You say until this matter is resolved, me I go excuse myself.
Recuse yourself.
Yeah, because it would be the decent. Just like Jeffrey Moore done in a come, me I go stop that because me realize that the Jamaican government with some of the ignorant Jamaican, because when you walk in a public now, me no make nobody call my name, because them like to attack you. Oh, are you the on Jeffrey show about up the country? No, I'm not. I love my country. That's why I haven't run yet, idiots. I love my country. But the truth not a long time we see the Tefri Aguan and we just Aguan like say it a help with come on. In every work that me take them say me can't look nobody in the office. So why the Prime Minister and his wife have to in the house as head Speaker of the House, head of government? Mark Golding never have to make that point. We can't date people in the organization. Me could have in one organization with Miss Webby and love her from here to the moon till it eclipse and come back. I want to tell me say we can't have a relationship. But it's a double standard. It's a double standard. You said one for Luke and one for Julieta. Andrew, come on, man. This is not the best of Jamaica. See the best of Jamaica, sit down here, sir. Rupert Francis. I take lick from some other wimps who will go with any wind we blow as long as Rupert. And a lot of them, Rupert, is because them you now look for the national award. Them want it. They are hungry to be awarded by the Jamaican for outstanding service. But you know what? Go into your communities and start serving those people. Then when the people them give you piece of yam when you go back where you come from and say, Master Francis, we don't know what we do without you if you never come here call help with. That award mean more to me than standing on stage with people who have lost their passion and heart for this country. Other people
and not only that, Luke George Cooke, if I may, and I want to apologize for what I'm going to say, and these are my views. These are not the views of any of my guests on this program. For far too long, we've been giving these people, some people who are human traffickers, some people who are notorious criminals under the quiet, the order of distinction and the order of old donkey and the order of old jackass and the order of this and the order of that. the national award ceremony nowadays don't have any relevance, it don't have any respect anymore. Because for far too long, how can we give a person like Everett Warmington a national award? Huh? Who has disrespected the people of this country for far too long? Some of these people who are given awards to.
The man them lost their moral compass, Jeffrey. You're wrong and strong around Jamaica. And if you talk too much, them come look for you and shoot you. Them use them intimidation. You talk about children going missing. My nephew went missing for 1 week. Was found in another parish. Can't go into it because it's an ongoing investigation. But we in Jamaica, when we see missing children, we like to say, oh, it's a girl, she got in her man yard. Do you know how many children might be leaving through different courts in Jamaica? And this is why you want a Rupert Francis with the National Crime Task Force, with people with expertise. And this is when you know your government is bankrupt. Look on a man now like Rupert. You can look on a man now like Herb Nelson. You have this young white girl in front of you named Webby. And everybody want help. And the government has never created a mechanism, you know. Because the other day, I was looking at a presentation by Senator KD Knight, where the matter of where the violence stemmed from. And even KD Knight, where everybody said fearless, never want to say it started with a man named Edward Seaga and Dudley Thompson. He never want to call them name. That's the history. And that's the problem with Jamaica. The double standard was telling your child to speak the
Okay.
truth. To
Luke,
speak it. Yeah.
I don't know if you were on the line when I said it. Without knowledge of the past, we are a tree without roots is something that we speak all the time, but we didn't just end up here. And Dr. Francis said it. In hindsight, he's able to see so much that he couldn't understand then in perspective now. We have to, as we're moving forward, these look backs are important to understand where we are so we don't end up back here in the future. Because if we clear out Parliament House today and replace it, how we know we're not going to end up with in the same place in another 10 years with all the replacements, just waiting on their
I
turn.
agree with this Webby that we tend to pick the worst of the worst, but the good one, them like Rupert now gonna leave the comforter. Them now gonna leave for come back, and Jeffrey now gonna come back. But you there here, so what you have to do now is that we have to put our foot forward.
Give me half an hour and bring finish in half an
hour.
Pardon me? Miss Webby?
Sorry? No,
What
my
did you say?
apologies. No, my apologies.
Okay.
No.
Let us, Luke, finish your thought. Let's go to Dr. Francis and ask his opinion. Go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, man. We have to put our best foot forward. We have to put our best foot. Yeah, we have to put our best foot forward. And the truth of the matter is that one of the things before I said to Dr. Francis is that we must stop teach double standard. As adults, we teach our children, speak the truth, speak the truth, speak it ever, cast it what it will. He who hides the wrong, him do the wrong thing still. If we are not willing to speak our truth and we don't have to be persecuted for it, you're absolutely right. We're going to be the tree without understand where the roots came from and how the tree got planted, so we can't appreciate the experience and the journey. And that is why I keep company with them bright man like Dr. Francis. Remember, if you're not doctor, have money in Jamaica, If you don't have them title there,
We're not smutty.
Michael, man, the smartization. Because remember, the voting populace takes $5,000 and vote that their democracy and their rights be taken away from them. That they do not have a say in their politics. And any slave, any bossy slave will think them can come broke the two stronghold, the two major gang in Jamaica, PMP and JLP, will be punished, and you will be severely punished. In other words, one arrogant lawyer who used to be a PMP, MP, and finance minister, you small, better put it yet. He who plays by the rules will get shafted. It is a sad day, but me believe there. I would rather die on yonder gallows. Me already tell them already. It's just one cremation. It not take nothing for no 9 night, because let me tell you, no coward not to come near my setup. No coward must come near my setup.
Go ahead, Miss Webley.
About how they love me, but all I want to know the system that killed me to refuse to get up. I said the young man that I said to them, everybody in them house should light a candle a jungle, because everybody, almost every household in a jungle, have lost a relative to violence. And send a message to criminal that we are, if you don't want to come out of your yard, light the candle and put it down the road, because you don't want them to say it there your yard. I understand people fear, Me not think them there with me there. At this point in life, I want better for Jamaica. So me have to start my truth. I know, say, brother, I saw my feel. No, nothing personal.
Let's get a word from Miss Webley. Go ahead, Miss Webley.
No, I was wanting to draw back to the spirit of solutions that you had mentioned before. Right. I know we're coming up on the close, and I'm just really wanting to hear the views of the guests, of your other guests as well. What is the answer? To me, okay, I think it's completely crazy that for example, one of the issues, we could pick anyone, but the integrity reports, we can stick with that theme that we're there. It's crazy that it hasn't been tabled. This is actually the information that belongs to the Jamaican people. What is next steps?
Well,
Dr. Francis,
I just want to say this, that like a person like me right now, I'm on a tightrope, so to speak, if you would look at it that way. But the difference is that I'm trained to walk on a tightrope all my life. And And I've said it to them. I mean, you can't put anything past certain people because they have no qualms in what they do. But so you have to be just more tolerant, careful, and to be able to walk through the raindrops and not to compromise yourself. But the fact of the matter is somebody has to say something, because we don't say something, we don't do anything, then nothing. You talk about solutions, there'll be no solutions. And there are lots of people who want to, but they don't want to necessarily die. And nobody, you know, but my friends, if you ask 100 or 1,000 of them in Jamaica, they'll tell you that I have to watch my back. You know, whether you like it or not, whether you're in the United States or not, you have to watch your back. And so they might say, oh, you know, it's not so. Well, it's foolish to think it's not so. And people believe in necromancy. They believe in all sort of things. Obia, yes, man. They believe in sacrifice. They believe in rings that can guard them and all that sort of thing. And but my belief is in God, and you know, I have reason to believe that, and I'm not no big Christian. I don't wear it on my sleeves, but I do believe that you have to believe in something, or you'll believe in nothing. And I believe that my job on this earth is to help my people, help to guide them. And I know there are a lot of people like yourself, Luke Jordan, all that, and it's so easy to support this. But the average Jamaican now has reached a mindset that the only thing that can help them is a Clarks, a fancy car, you know, this and that, and things, you know, they're material, they've gotten materialistic, and they will kill you for it. And they have
but Dr. Francis, hold on for me, Dr. Francis.
Yes.
What I think what Miss Webley is asking of the three of us, including herself, what is the solution to the problem that we face in our country? The problem of nepotism, the problem of cronyism, the problem of corruption, the problem of the speaker and her husband who believe that they are the demigods of Jamaica. What is the solution to Jamaica's problem that we face right now?
Let me answer you. Right now, there is no one solution, and there might not really be a solution, except you have to forget a generation or two. Okay? And you have to start with the children. The only solution I see is the way forward is in 10 or 20 years, we will be able to get back to Jamaica we long for. If we all set on that road. If we do not, some of these adults, you can't change them anymore because they think that they're right. And they're in the church, they're all over. Right?
So do you believe, Dr. Francis, that if a member of the government of Jamaica, they listed 6, if you believe that some of them is caught with their hands in the cookie jar and they're literally gone to prison, do you believe that one of those, there's a solution to one of Jamaica's problems?
Yes, but who's going to bail the cat? Who's going to get them and who's going to take them to prison in Jamaica? Guess again. In Jamaica, I don't see the person with the cojones that would do that in Jamaica right now.
Well, Miss Webley, Dr. Francis attacked truth, but Martin Luther King said the truth pressed down must rise up again. You see, you know, long time I said to Jeffrey, say, you have to start with advocacy. You see, when you look at the Vibes Cartel matter, 2 million, the vote, the 18 to 35, when Vibes Cartel was arrested, was willing to burn this country down because Vibes Cartel, there became an icon who could speak to some of their suffering. Although the guy's a predator because he also promotes some things that I don't consider to be in keeping with
a healthy society.
Yeah, right. But what it tells me that the people like Olympics is waiting for you, Miss Webby, to start advocating, going around showing people, basically getting from them, talking, do the liquor street corner talk, do the One United Jamaica. And if the issue that we are advocating becomes an issue that really cuts into your bread and butter, you will get some support. I just think that more of us need to be out there holding forums with people and asking them, what does it mean to be Jamaican? we need to press for a census to be done so we know how many people are in Jamaica. So if we have extracted 750, we're gonna find. Have we done a case study to say all of them people that did that so far, their life was so depressing? How many of these people who are now straight people who are saying that they are gay, who are giving the gay community a bad name? And why is it that they wanted to leave so badly if things are? Because that's a good case in point. Showing people figures and saying this is what is happening. We can look at the health system and we can talk about that. We need to do an independent assessment as Jamaican, not what the opposition, not what the government tell us, but
As
we
us
need to do some
Jamaicans, what do we think about this?
yeah, what you think about that? Is it that 100% of people who are on the National Health Fund can take their medication? Do they have food? What are the schools like? No, son, hot, you go to school, teacher beg you every minute, you see, from the school, them a beg you one extra fan, them a beg you one extra. What have we done to cut down the utility costs to some school are owe up to $70 million per year in a light bill? So if the school are going to spend $70 million in a light bill, Miss Webby, how much them are going to spend per
And
material?
teachers.
And how much are they using for improving on the quality of the teachers? So there are just some things that we can run off right now. The guy who them killed the other day might be a criminal. I don't know the youth, but me think said that was the most sensible piece of thing when we seen a recent murder in Jamaica, where the man put up a camera in a place and we saw it play out right in front of our very eye. Policeman go there, take him out of the house, and then one man just came around and one corner, we are bam!
And execute
And then
him.
the story is there was guns there, and then the father come and make the police force look like them. They are the most retarded set. So where are the bullets that were going through the fence and the door if there was an actual shootout between them and my son?
Mhm.
So you know, so the Jamaican people them start to think. And they have, but the thing for me, when me now go cuss the people them, the Jamaican people them are suffer from apathy. Because we who want, we have to find ways to inspire them. So Miss Webby, all like me and you now, me that do one poster competition in every inner city. Going at the school them and make some pitney right, some draw, some play out one skit, how it affect them. And then we start with a national conversation from there. So why are children going missing and we're not getting a feedback from the police when them come back? And where are the trauma specialists, the psychologists who are going to work them through some of the
But Luke, that I'm cutting you off or anything like that. But when you look on the whole aspect of what is going on in Jamaica, you said something earlier on that the people are suffering from amnesia in a sense that, you know, they reach a point where, not really amnesia, they reach a point where they're just fed up of what is going on in the country. Apathy. Is it that a call to action group outside of Jamaica who decide to take to the streets in front of a Jamaican council building in Miami, and now on May 10th, the Jamaica Council building in New York City? Is it that the Jamaican people who lives in Jamaica is afraid to stand up and say to them, enough is enough? Hold on for me, Luke. Remember what I'm going to say? When you look on the whole thing of Carnival, you see the amount of Jamaican took to the streets in Kingston for Carnival? Is it that there's two Jamaica? One of the people who live at the Vumba of society, and one of the people according to Wilmot Mutty Perkins, the late Mutty Perkins, of the people who live below Crossroad, the dirty foot choices people who live below Crossroad, are they the one who are facing the fundamental problem in our country, and those who live up the Vumba not facing anything?
You want me?
Like 3 or 4 Jamaicas, but go ahead,
All right,
Lou.
let me tell you something. There is no middle class in Jamaica. So it's really, as two communities in Jamaica said, there's 3 categories of Jamaican. The upper class
Not again. It seems as if they don't want Luke to talk.
And that's such a critical moment too.
It seems like the Labour Party is jamming Luke's signal. But no, on a very serious note, Miss Webley, when you look at it, you have to ask yourself the question, is it that we are creating a mountain over nothing in the diaspora? When you see the crowd of people, you ask yourself the question, is there not a problem in our country when it comes down to nepotism, cronyism, and corruption? Lack of proper hospital beds. There's no medication. The police don't have any vehicle.
I go back. Hold on, no, I go back to saying, remember, we are all crabs in this barrel. Some crabs are higher up on the heap, and them no one go down our bottom. But we're all crabs in this barrel still. So you have some that have their little much, you know, and they're gonna maintain that because they don't want to end up down there. What we need to do is figure out how to break this bloody barrel. We need to figure out how we actually shift it. And I was speaking with someone the other day, I don't remember where I saw it, but it's like, do we actually want equality and better for Jamaica, or are we just saying it? Because some of the things that it's uncomfortable for a lot of Jamaicans to think about what it could mean to give up their position, even if their position isn't a high one on the totem pole. So we have to understand, you know, there is a lot of there's a lot of in shifting our society, and this transformation is not something that anyone can dictate. It's something that we're all creating together as the Jamaican community. I love the suggestion that Luke made, and it's where I am as well, to give my answer to my question. I believe we are part of this solution right now, creating content like this, having conversations like this. You know, Luke mentioned competitions or contests in the schools. I think anything cultural. You know, I'm working on producing some films now. I am also, as you know, release my own music. I think anything that we can do, culture really, it may take time. It may not be the quick shift that we want to see, but releasing more of those kinds of works, releasing more of this kind of content and this kind of conversation. So it's not just idle gossip on the internet, but there is reasoned thinking happening from Jamaican communities, connecting, not just us here, but in the chat, everybody who is commenting. And, you know, these are the things that are going to move the needle. These conversations, music, art, film, like always, worldwide. It's what's done it, and it's what we'll do it. Yes, Dr. Francis.
I couldn't agree with you more, but that's what I'm saying. You have to start at the beginning with the young. I know right now there are some Jamaican movie guys who are doing movies and doing. I'm not calling the name. I don't want nobody who focus on these people. They're doing tremendous work.
Absolutely, absolutely.
In their communities and what have you, and raising the awareness among themselves, right? And if they can do that,
means to the internet.
Absolutely. You know, the thing is though, Dr. Francis, we can't just give them up as hopeless cases. The youth are still being raised by their elders, and in some cases, the youth will end up raising their elders. So I agree with you. Focus the efforts on younger people, 18, 16 and below. But also just generally making better, you know, the people in our chats. I don't think that these are children. I think that these are like us, persons around the world that care.
We have one of the smartest generations of young people I know. How can you take a phone and rob somebody 3,000, 10,000 miles away every day with caca crowing at the back of your something? How on God's earth can people? And yet, you know. So train them to be AI entrepreneurs, AI engineers.
But Dr. Francis, I agree with you. Yes,
security professionals.
But look at it this way. I don't believe that those people who are chopping, according to some people, of a well-known Jamaican politician, so that you know there's nothing wrong with chopping. Chop them, yes.
I am not.
But no. What I'm saying is this, Dr. Francis. I don't believe that these people who are doing what they're doing really think about Jamaica. They think about themselves and themselves only.
No, but Jeffrey, but to to build on that point, it goes back to my earlier point. We need to facilitate and create real opportunities. There is severe underemployment. The nation keeps touting tourism, and the numbers are great, and they keep talking about the call centers. But I've worked in hospitality. I've been a bartender. I've worked at a call center. Those aren't jobs that our children or youth want to do, and those aren't career, those aren't self-fulfilling, those aren't anything with any kind of upward mobility.
In other
or
words, they can't
opportunity.
manage for them salary, the Jeffrey.
Come on.
But we don't want no chop the line. We don't really want to chop the line.
No, I'm not advocating.
No, but what I'm saying is we need to create better opportunities, like Dr. Francis said. Bring them into
minimum
Web3
wage
world.
must move to 100,000, not to 50.
And bring them into Web3.
Yes, what I'm saying, listen to me. If you can, listen, look at India. India has more people than you can even dream about. But the fact of the matter is that most of the people now are working in the tech industry. They are now tech leaders. They're, in fact, all of the Fortune 500 companies have Indians and Singaporeans and all those people inside their upper echelons. Right? Why is this? Because they've been doing this for ages. We need to look at the children, and we need to look at everybody, but especially the young people between beginning and so on, and say, look, this is where we want to be in 10 years, 5, 10, maybe even earlier.
So
can I stick the pin, please, Dr. Francis? Going back to what I was asking about the activities, and when Jeffrey asked if I think the protest is what my thoughts are on the protest. The same kind of actions that Luke is suggesting to me is also actions that I think the diaspora group can be taking. I understand that they do actions that are more clandestine, but what kind of engagement activities with the youth are being explored from that grouping? Is there any way that you can be engaging the youth from that grouping?
Let me answer. Here, Luke is going to answer. Well, let me say this to you. Luke and I know that what we have a good idea anyway, the things that we do. I don't believe that we should talk about it, because they will use.
No, what I'm asking is, are there any youth engagement activities that can be spoken about? We definitely don't want to speak about what shouldn't be spoken about, but like these poster competitions, like these cultural engagements.
I don't have a problem with that. Luke knows that. It's just a question of getting these people to come together, put your little pennies and what have you together, work together. I have created what is called the Jamaica Diaspora Foundation about a year and a half ago, and I've not actually, and it will be in different departments and working in different areas and so on. And we have experts, all that. But to be quite honest with you, I haven't said, because there are some people who wouldn't want to see that, because that would mean uplifting the whole Jamaica, and they don't want that. They don't want to uplift the people.
I think the group just needs to go forward with it. Then would be my suggestion. I don't worry about who don't want to see it. Step by step.
It's heavy. Rupert has taken a lot of beating for the rest of us. And what we must say publicly, it's since Jeffrey and Rupert and Rattigan and the rest of people them start talk out for Jamaica, that some Jamaicans now, and believe it or not, what they have been doing has been inspired. Going back to the point, Jeffrey, the people them got carnival in because them on Mali. Them have to drown for them sorrows and depression in sex and sexuality. Don't worry about them. We not worry about them. It's the people who can't pay a school fee. The basic school picking them when they will have the proper resources me worry about. Those people who bought those carnival costumes yesterday, some of them will give them money if the charity is right. So what we need to do, you see, like how the costume them were like 300 and some of them are 200 and some of them are up to $400 for go jump each year. Those are the young people that we need to engage. They have a part to play in the change. What I'm agreeing with Rupert is that I believe that the diaspora should put its resources in 3 areas. I think we need to come up with another 30-year plan that is the people's plan, not the government plan, where we look at food security in this changing time and climate. We need to look at how we build our technology, because technology is the new way of doing things. And as Rupert said, it might be a sexier industry. Them say Silicon Valley will be built in Brownstown. Hopefully, we will have a Silicon Valley, because I don't think it's a bad idea. But if you're going to be Silicon Valley, make sure you're going to stem cell research, and you can talk about why we don't find the cause to cancer. We have so much natural herbs and bushes in Jamaica we can help. We need to build out that, Miss Webby, a nice bush clinic in Jamaica where you can go in there with all of the mucus in your belly. You go drink 2 leaf, and yes, to say it at work, and people for bush ecotourism. Let us make it sexy. Because next thing we go say bush and them say a ganja may talk about, because some people them limited understanding or exposure. But
no. Can I still depend? And you've done greatly. And some of these are ideas that I've had as well. I guess I'm where Dr. Francis is saying we can't mobilize until we get some funding together to actually action some of these things. Is that where some of the bottlenecking is? Because I am there with the ecotourism and all of these options. There's lots, but how do we actually move?
No. Let me say this to you. Funding is there because last year, for example, I recommended about a few organizations. 2 things. There's been somebody who has done an audit on Jamaica. You know, his name is Dr. Herbert Gale. We not on Jamaica, on other countries than he could do here. But also if you simply get it together and put it and analyze it and put the people, it will work, because and you don't need a lot of money, right, to do it, because the United Nations and those people, they give money for culture. UNESCO give money for culture, and last year I know of a few people who got money up to $100,000 in Jamaica, US. What we need is the people with the will to work with you, because everybody wants to be King George. Not Luke George. King George. Everybody wants to be king, and you can't have everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Francis, for my ascension to the throne. I will try to be a good king.
King Luke George.
Anyway, so that's what we have to work together and respect each other, and we'll be fine.
Gentlemen, the lone lady on the platform here, Miss Joan Webley, have to leave us now because
Joan Webley is this the daughter of the other Joan Webley?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Oh Lord, yeah. So then there's a part 2. Our mother is a firebrand, And a conversation with our mother one day. I remember telling you that lady left me in. I was in awe. Yeah. When I spoke to her, people started out by criticizing her, and she admitted to things that she participated in and said that age and time had, and I had to respect the fact that people do change.
It's human beings. It's human beings at the end of the day, But what is consistent in her, Luke, I will say this, and is the one reason why I can hold my head high as a politician picnic. I all my life, the constant with her is I have seen her genuinely care for and stand up for people. It's something that it don't matter if election is running or if anybody is seeing, is just such a stay. She likes to care for people. So
well, at least I know said the world look better, but what me answer still, if you do food security, then you do technology, and then we do people's development, because we need to assess, as you rightfully say, call center, tourism jobs are not going to take Jamaica where it needs to go.
No.
We need especially people who can help our children in maths and science, because we are seeing a big dip in maths and science, and even English. Everybody are going with level 3. Although English I think we need to teach our kids a second language, not Mandarin, but probably Spanish, because that will make them competitive. But when you look on it, Miss Webley, and them say there's about 1 million pilot jobs that are out there, and we don't even have a proper aviation system right now in the country. Why we not train more pilots for export? Them say them want pilot. Them did want 800 nurse in Canada and practical nurse. Why we not training our people sufficiently to take up those jobs? Because Damian Crawford's idea was that if you raise 2 goat, them goat they pay for your university, you come back to the family. So why we not train people to take up that? Because if you raise a youth, him turn pilot, him no must help him brother or sister for turn nurse and can take up a next job and that one they help the other one. And so we build back the family unit by one team.
And
Those are the
you
small
talk about,
things.
as you talk about nurse, I would advise, you know, the Jamaican men nowadays, young men, they believe that, you know, they can't become nurse and the women become nurse. If they should know that the amount of male nurse that America and Canada need is unbelievable.
Because they need
And they
people who
should,
are strong enough to actually move people as
right,
well. They need men in the space.
yes. So I would advise them to stop the stupidness about your nurse is a woman thing. Go and do at that distinction college and do a program in nursing.
And not just that, but all around the world, good tradesmen,
Yes,
including in Jamaica, good plumbers, good electricians, good tradesmen. They'll never be
yes,
out of work. We're
yes.
missing, you know. So, what together we can. That is, I said it when we first met, Jeffrey. There's nothing
Yes.
wrong with Jamaicans that cannot be fixed by Jamaicans. In and out of Jamaica, I still firmly believe that 100,000%. So, give thanks for making we talk this evening. Luke George, it was a pleasure to meet you and share space. Trust me, I had me laughing this evening.
No,
It is more than two
when
jokes.
you deal with me, I have to put your sanity in a safe place.
You give me
You
more
got
than
it?
two jokes. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And before you go, Miss Webley, I want to say that your mother, I have the opportunity of interviewing your mother at the demonstration in New York, in
Yes.
Miami. But I met her a long time ago. And how I get to end up, you know, listening to her. She was in a platform speaking. I remember what she was speaking about. And for some unknown reason, I sit there and I listen attentively to what she was saying. And when she finished speaking, everybody got up and gave a standing ovation to her. And I lift my hat to her for the work she has done for our country, Jamaica, the work she continued doing for Jamaica. It doesn't matter what party she's from. She speak the truth and she stand up for the Jamaican people. And I lift my hat to her. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
I said, and thank you. I said she works hard. I really give thanks for that tribute because it's not often that you hear people speak good of politicians. But I think if you get to know people individually, because that's all they are at the end of the day, and some go astray, as Dr.
Yeah.
Francis said. But many at the core of it started out with a genuine care and interest and intention to do good. That's something that's consistent with her, and she will stand
So
up.
when them reach out at the Parliament building and drink the water and take the holy bread and stop love the people.
Listen. No, jokes aside, there's something seriously wrong with our system, and those
Yeah,
the
man.
structure need to fix, and we keep on talking
Yeah, man,
around
the
it. But that's
farm,
why I said, if you take
the
all of them
sons
out
of
and replace
farmers
them,
slave have not taken their overcoming within great
exactly,
humility.
Yeah.
Them
people
no
will end
realize
up in
that
the
when
same
Jamaica
type
will
of
go all
corrupted
around.
state.
Yes, and I just want to say thank you for coming on. And I know one of these days I will have your mother on to speak to us. Say where I caught her off guard at the demonstration, but I lift my hat to her because she came on and she speak. And believe you me, when she was speaking, you can see that the people at the protesters stand there and listen to what she was saying because she was speaking the truth. She wasn't speaking as a member of the People's National Party or as a Jamaican politician. She was speaking as a Jamaican with a passion. She loves
Yeah.
her country.
You know,
You
when
know,
I hear persons throw around the term flip flop, sometimes I think to myself, so hang on, if you're in something and you realize that it is not the right direction, you're not allowed to change your mind. You must just keep continuing in one direction because that's what you were before. How is that a educated way to operate? And if we're not allowed as people to evolve or to grow or to change our perspectives or our minds, then I don't understand what we want for our society.
you ever hear when sinners start to judge other sinners, or we take the people them down the corner like we're the pardon of earth. You don't listen to
Okay.
them. One of the
Okay.
things that you're younger than me, one of the things that I just learned, not take nobody serious. Let your opinion and let what is in your heart. Because them say man judge the outward appearance and God judge the heart. So anybody we talk about,
Actually,
me no
actually.
know you and you no know me. Me not have nothing against you. You just get up, you're born low, grow cheap, you must have bad habit. You just born low. Because self, you see Rupert says now.
Guys, where you get them talk here from, no charge? Is which country you people come from? Because some of these talks, me no know.
But hold on there,
No,
Joan. If you literally get to know Luke, you know, he has other tongues that he can speak into, you know.
Listen, I sensed it. I sensed it. Sometime when I'm talking with my relatives up in Tel River, Hanover, I'm not sure what is being said, and I feel like say, look, people come from some deep somewhere.
I was telling
And on that note,
I was
I
telling
would.
before you go, that I met your mom many years ago, and she is the same then, and she's the same now in the energy. And you know, I was a young officer at the time. We've been through so much, you know, Jamaica. I don't think that a lot of people even understand what Jamaica has been through. And you know, as Luke alluded to, some things good for you, not everything good for you, good for talk. You know, I mean, in terms of politics, and politics has been everywhere. And but there's some people who are good politicians, and there's some people who are not good politicians because they are not there for the people. And unfortunately, most of the people want the handout. You know, I mean, I spent a lot of money while I was there, and I know who, and but I enjoyed it because it tailored me from who I am today. You know, and
Yeah.
right now I can call on these same people that I have not seen for years, and I can get anything I want done. Okay, I only said, don't call my name. You understand me? I tell them point blank, don't go to nobody and say no me. Just go on, just listen. Don't
Just do the thing. Just do your thing.
yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And on that note, I just want to say, you know, your closing remarks on this program, Miss Webley. Thank you for coming on, and I know you won't be a stranger to the Make We Talk program. Same way, I
No,
won't be a stranger to your program that you have on Best 100. It's an awesome program today, and it was my pleasure to be on the program today with you.
thank you so much. It was an honor to have you. I really appreciated it. For anyone that's tuned in, it started today on Best 100 FM. We'll be there every Monday from 12:30 midday until 2. So please tune in if you can. And I will be back. Give
yeah,
thanks for
man.
this type of reading.
And we will come support you.
Yes,
That is it. And Luke, let's connect because I am here in
No,
Jamaica for a while. Let's meet in real life. Virtual is fun, but real life is funner.
let me
oh
say,
Lord. And I
let
told
me
them, my my granny married ring, you know, say you might be in love.
no, you leave her alone. Leave her alone. She's taken. The point
Thank you, Dr. Francie.
I wanna say
Jeffrey, don't bring me back into problems, please.
let me tell you something. I will be having my program with a couple of colleagues as well, and very shortly, and in order to look at a different perspective, you know,
Beautiful.
more of a solution-oriented programming, and looking at people in the diaspora and giving that a sense, make people understand who they are and where they're coming from. One thing I interviewed a 98-year-old man, 98, and it was fantastic. Okay, so just want to
Yes.
Luke George, thank you for all the nice things you've said about me. I hope you really mean it.
Hold on there for me.
Are you
Don't
still
that,
staying on? I think it's
that,
just me
that,
going, you know.
that you
Yes,
know what
hold
I'm
on for me.
talk,
Hold on for me.
you
Hold
know
on for
what
me.
I'm talk things I mean. Now say
Hold on there for me.
you want good soul doc.
Gentlemen, hold on for me. We're gonna end the program now. I just want to make Miss Webley.
Listen, I am.
Just me heading off.
Hold on for me, Dr.
Gentlemen,
Francis. Hold on.
gentlemen, have a great evening.
Listen.
Thank you for having me. I
So you
appreciate
call them the truth, call them and yeah, the Holy Rose, no man. Definitely.
it. We could talk a little more later.
John, go do your thing. Go do your thing. We're
Thank
talking.
you. Thank you very much for coming on.
Blessings. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Gentlemen, we're gonna go a little bit more. And Dr. Francis, you have to go?
Yeah, because I'm tired. I'm, you know, from man, because of you, you know, man. We come on and the people, of course.
All right. Since you have to go, give us your closing words on this program here. Luke and I will continue a little bit more.
My closing words is that listen to people like yourself and Luke. Luke listen. Luke knew me before, and you know, and I knew him and knew of him, and we met, and then we do things. I don't have to call Luke and say, "Well, boy, you know, we have this and that to do." I want the people of Jamaica to know he's a resource, really a social scientist of no mean order. And we really need more people like Luke there to talk to the youngsters, to talk to his communities, and so on. Get the people out there to understand why it is to be important to be a Jamaican, and why it is important to work with everyone to build Jamaica. Because believe you me, there's a lot to be built in Jamaica, and there's a lot to take away from Jamaica, and we want to really give us a good shot going forward. And I really love to talk about our country and to plan about our country. And I want to thank you very much for the opportunity this evening to share the stage with you guys. I really enjoyed it, you know, and I look forward to it many more times. Okay, so that's basically what I would like to say.
When is the next protest? The 10th?
The 10th is the 10th, May 10th.
Oh,
May 10th. Yes, May 10th.
my birth month.
Okay.
Yeah, buy me a ticket, man. I come celebrate my birthday the 18th. Come for the 10th and stay true to the 18th.
Listen to me now. May I tell you something? Not money I run these days, myself. Money I run. When I lie to you. Not one. So we have to try to work on it. And I met you. Believe you me. I wish I was in that. Years ago, I was in such a great position. I know why I have to watch your back. I tell you.
Okay, Dr. Francis, thank you for coming on.
It is a pleasure, my friend, to be on, and I look forward to be on next time. Please do. Luke, we'll be in touch, okay, brother?
Yeah, man. Stay strong.
You too.
Money soon come.
Yeah, man, we know that.
The eclipse is changing our future.
Yes.
The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous.
Yes. We're going to take a little phone calls now because people are asking to call in.
Yeah.
And Miss Weber could have stayed a little longer with us, but because she was on her feet from God's know when. You know, I couldn't let her stay any longer. But I want to say thanks to Joan Webley. Well, Joan Webley, rather. The daughter of former Jamaican politician, Miss Joan Webley. I want to say thanks for her to come on. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back to our program. Oh, Lord. The person hung up. Go ahead, Luke.
No, them are called back. Them just
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome to the back to our program.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, Jeffrey and gentlemen. I wanted to call in, but thank you for taking my call. But yes, there was a question that was asked. What's the solution of this problem that we're having within Jamaica? And let me sit down because, yes, Jeffrey.
Yes, ma'am.
Whitney Houston sing a song and she says she believes that children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Now, this conversation that we keep having and with all of you wonderful people that's trying to help Jamaica and bring it back to the way it was. We thank you. Now, I believe it's the education, the government of today, and it's not just today government. I want to say I believe the Siaga. I'm sorry if I'm disrespecting people who's a Siaga person.
You're not.
But listen.
If it's a Siaga, it's nothing wrong. You can say Tavares or Manley or Cooke.
All right. Now, yes. Now listen. He destruct the whole system. Michael Manley wanted us to be educated. If the system wasn't disturbed, our children today wouldn't be so lost. Now, when I had said Whitney Houston song, Teach the Children, you know what, to be honest with Jeffrey, is not this generation, children. I believe it's our grandchildren generation that's actually gonna make this turn. I pray to God by the time this government finish with we not lose Jamaica. But I don't believe that we will lose Jamaica, because Jamaica will always be there. But it's the people in Jamaica. Now the system have to change. We have to put back the education right. I understand that the health situation is not good. Healthcare situation is not good. We need that too, very much. Where you say the youth them and to teach them, is only them where I can be able to say, oh my God, yes, they are the future to make this right again. And if we don't teach them and bring them that they could lead Jamaica generation, we're doomed. We're doomed, Jeffrey and Luke. We're doomed.
Luke?
Dog not gonna name with suffer cause Canada attack them. But what I agree with you, my sister. And thank you for
this man no easy, you know.
Thank you for thanking us, and we thank you for your listenership and the fact that you're participating. I believe that the education system has to be fixed, but it's not just the arithmetic and the literacy that we need to teach. It has to be going back to teach people about values and attitude, and why it is important that we display those values and attitude that are not self-serving, but are communal. That is going to, you're going to be a brother and sister keeper. I was talking.
But look, that is educational too, because back in the days, them things they are learning at school. Teacher teach the children about morals in school, because once upon a time the teacher them could not use ruler and slap you upon your behind and say, look here, straighten up. Now, so I will go back to them days, Luke, and beat children and to discipline children. But back in the days, we could discipline the children in the classrooms.
Oh Lord, we have lost Luke. His internet dropped a while ago. We have lost.
Yes,
Luke.
But you understand what I'm saying, Jeffrey?
Yes, I am.
Because morals starts at home. Yes, I understand. But when we send the kids them to school and so forth, the teachers them teach them morals too back in the days. Right now, today teachers can't even look and picnic too hard. See, the children are the future, and we got to get the education, the education system back in order.
Yeah, that has to be in order, but we also have to get the concept of the village raising the child, because it's important that whatever you teach outside of the home are the same sort of value. And that is why it is important for us at Make We Talk, right across the length and the breadth of the world, to run a value add campaign. Every Jamaicans must take responsibility. We must have respect for each other. We must treat each other with tolerance, and let it be a one love society. I believe just like the Black Lives movement, the Jamaican people movement must be developed, and the education has to be. And so our messaging, whether we're going to use a social media platform, our messaging is what makes a people strong when we come together. So we can always use the example of the fist. When your 5 fingers are extended, they are fingers, but when they are formed into a fist, they become a weapon. And here is a weapon for change. That change must be respect each other. Let us hold a reason. Just like I believe, say, education at the community level could be discussing what is best to develop your local space. What only can do now in the local space to develop it. Somebody, I think in the chat, me just look a while ago, say, Luke explained the concept of Operation Hope. Operation Hope is an NGO that I founded in 2005 when people were being killed in Western Kingston and children weren't going to school. And just to ask some brave people if they would have give up some time to go into communities, and we could do activity while children, as part of trauma care, we could do activities to sort of create a relief for children. What it has blossomed into over that period of time from 2005 to 2009 or 2010, we had a summer program for children from different sections of West Kingston. Then we did the homework program, then we did the soup kitchen, then we started to train young people how to become entrepreneur. We did the mentorship program, and we started to teach children advocacy. What it has become now, it became to a point where nobody that gave us anything, so we got register it, and then we did all government back tax, and then government come in pan we and say we owe them tax. Right now I think we owe the government $500,000 on that company. So I can't even close it because I try to close it because one of the things I hate is begging. I always say social entrepreneurship should always be the way how we develop things. We develop the concept of round robin. We develop some concepts, and we saw that it worked. And
yeah, but Jeffrey, I mean, Lou, where are those programs now? This is what I'm talking about. Those programs that you're talking about, Lou, we need them back.
Yeah,
and the government right now, where is those programs for the kids?
No, look, the template is there. If you want a homework program, I can give you one. If you want a thing, but you see, one of the things is that my sister, it's good to talk about it, but you see, like Rupert, Francis, and others like me and you, it started to take a toll on. Well, I started Operation Hope. It was my brainchild. And then me just recruit my brethren them when I go to school with you when I know me have an influence. Because what me find is that how you influence people, you start with the people that are closer to you. And then we find out that when we go corporate Jamaica, them show a 30,000 per way, them show a $50,000 per way. But the program requires, for instance, I can show you some school budget. Back to school. I can show you a back to school budget. People are not supportive of those things because them question you for say if you want money. No, me live moderately. Me not buy whole heap of clothes and me not party with the rich. Me not really need a whole heap of people. So me not have no teething mentality. My granny never grew up so. But the challenge is you don't have the support because people give money to people that they are comfortable. And that is what killed Jamaica. You hear they talk about people defending their community and coming up with. There's nothing in the budget that says, okay, you do this. For instance, when I was chairman for the Downtown Development Area Committee, where you supervise 17 communities with all of the NGOs and CBOs in those communities. When I had to go to meetings, I had to find my way there. And then I was going to meeting and buy the refreshment for people. And then I go to meeting and I pay the bus fare for people. It drains your resources. You get frustrated.
Yes, I understand. I understand.
But in other words, what me I say is, right now, if you want, if you want sponsor homework program, like if you want right now, I'm trying to get 10 boys who can read and write. But here's how me structure the program. Them can't read and write, but me I try to find a psychologist, me I try to find a trauma specialist, a therapist, a social worker, and that's my team. Everybody have to come in and go into the different aspects of these young men life because we just going to put, I don't believe in putting in a kid in a reading program. I want to find a mentor for him, somebody who can handhold him a little bit and show him, say, look, you
Yeah.
might start, yeah. So, but
In Canada, we had a program like that. They call it the Big Brother.
yeah.
You know,
Yes,
volunteer
but
and
when we started it, but it again, it's always you know, it's always
helping the
hold on. You two are talking over each other, and we're not hearing exactly what you're saying. So one at a time, please.
Yeah. When them come,
about that.
no,
are you still there, Luke?
Yeah,
Luke, you
no,
go ahead.
when them come on a Saturday morning, cause we can't do it one day a week. It's always that we have to provide them with a hot meal because maybe that is the only meal where they're gonna have. That is probably the only meal. So again, I don't necessarily need your money. I just need if you could have even said something to a wholesaler and say, look, identify 4 wholesale and tell me who go and cook the meal so that them can have a breakfast and them can have a lunch. And then for the first part of the morning, you take them through the maths and the arithmetic. But the second part is always about building yourself and then probably spending some with the therapist. Them can do a group therapy about the anger management, the domestic violence, the killing that they're witnessing in their home. And there has to be consistency because one of the things we learn about children after a while, if there is no consistency, then them tend not to want to come to the program. And they also help me to design their program because in the focus group discussion, I ask them, what would you like us to include in the program? What would you want to see in the program? And we try, but that is what I'm saying. It's gonna start with that, my sister. But good intentions are paved on those golden road that leads to heaven, where we try to do things, but there's not a collective out there to say, all right, let us support a local NGO, let us support their program, and let us work with that local NGO to bring us in. Because if I'm asking you for your hard-earned money to support the program, I'm gonna also ask you, when you're in Jamaica, come sit down with the kids them too. Let them see that other people care. Jamaicans care. And so things like that, if you're willing, and that me tell Mr. Jeffrey, if you're willing, put up in the chat what it is that you would like to work with. Would you like to work with public education, advocacy, social entrepreneurs? Are you a social worker? Can you give your time? So Jeffrey can put out the Met We Talk volunteer sheet. And then what we could do is right through the year, we invite you to come to Jamaica and participate in local programs.
Yes, sounds wonderful.
Yes.
You know, in Canada here, I raised my 3 boys them as a single parent, single mom. And back in the days, they're grown men now. And back in the days, they had a program they called the Big Brother. Any Canadians that's listening to the show will probably know what I'm talking about. They call it's a Big Brother program. And the volunteering. And because a single mom at times with work and so forth, we get so busy. A big brother, somebody voluntarily would basically adopt your kids and just say, you know what, we're going to take them here, we're going to take them there, and teach them things in the community and teach them even construction work. Because my son then took up the construction work and that they have their own business right now because of the Big Brother community programs that they have. Now, something like that, what you're talking about now and so forth, this is what we need for the children in Jamaica. And as I'm saying, the government right now that we have in place, far, far away from that. So with this conversation that we're having right now, and so many other conversation and platforms like Jeffrey here, this is what we need to come together and do. What you just had suggest for when the time we're in Jamaica, we could come together and help the youth them, have programs where big brothers or big sisters or uncles or aunts could bring them in and teach them so they can lead our way. That's all I had to say.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much, and I really appreciate you guys for listening. And Jeffrey, again, I thank you so much for your platform. And Luke, thank you. You guys have a good night.
Luke put up your information. Jeffrey put up. Look, Jeffrey
No,
can put up.
hold on, Luke. I will address that. Caller, thank you for calling in.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you very much. For those who want to reach to Luke, hold on, mute your mic for me, Luke.
No, move, me that move.
Yeah, for those who want to get in contact with Luke, this is my number. You call me on that. I will not give the information in the chat, please. We can't do that. For security reasons, we cannot do that.
For look at thing when me I got through, Jeffrey know. So me have to keep on the download. Talk to Jeffrey and him will make out the touch.
And for the person who talk about
Jamaica is a real place, you know. Me a fair eye from some.
Yes. For the person who asks about the demonstration, if Luke's serious, he's serious about coming up to the demonstration. He is. So you can come through me to Mr. Cooke, if that's okay with you all. But we can't. There's certain ways he can't give his information on the air here because we don't know who is watching us from Jamaica and everything like that. So for those who want to talk to Mr. Cooke, you have to come through me. If you don't mind, please. We're going to end the program now, Luke. Maybe we should. Or you want to get another call, 954-529-8030. It is now 10:28, 9:28 in the land of wood and no water. Luke, you still there with us?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, Luke, you know, today I was sitting down, you know, and I was thinking to myself about the whole system of government in our country. If we should do a research from 1962 to now, and how much money we have spent, government has spent in trucking water to our people, you'll be surprised, you know.
Jeffrey, you know, the government sometimes create chaos just to be like somebody need to tell us. Did Christopher Tufton really start a funeral one? But now I call out a man if me don't know, you know.
I can't prove it.
Because something that somebody said to me today don't set not set well in my spirit. The person was saying Tranquility had the contract to take up any homicide, anybody who was shot and killed in a community. Why are we going to expand the body? And I'm saying, I don't know. They done it that it's
one moment, caller. Go ahead, Luke. Hello, caller.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night to you.
Could I speak to Luke?
Go ahead, sir. He's on air.
Luke.
Yeah.
I was listening to a program the other day with you when you say you have your eyes sick. Like you have cataract or something like
glaucoma.
Yes, Luke, hold on for me, caller. Luke, this caller gave me something to give you, and I think I ate it. Sorry. Lord of mercy. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, there's two cure for glaucoma and cataract. I tried it on myself. Cut a pine juice and juice it and put it in a bottle to drop in your eye and do it twice for the day. Do it put it in the fridge to keep it cool, but don't use it after 4 days. The other one is kola nut. If you can get the African kola, you can get it because you can get it on internet. Put 2 kola nut in water and take it, wash your eye. Glaucoma gone, cataracts gone.
Cool. Yeah, man. May I beg Jeffrey for send me your number so I get back them thing there and then go hunt them down, because you would be helping not only me but a lot of people who are suffering with these conditions. If you have a cure for hypertension and diabetes, trust me. I see a baby at 10 now, I take insulin and it move my heart. Them them say them thing here you can reverse, but trust me, the baby I take med farming and let me tell you something, man. Trust me, man. Med farming mash you up, man. Mash you up.
You see, a lot of people who are sick nowadays, sickness comes from in your gut. You know, mucus start all sickness. No matter which sickness you have, mucus start everything. Everything starts in your gut. And you have to stop eat certain things. And nobody no want to stop eating meat. Nobody no want to stop drinking milk.
Well, me not drink milk, but me can't stop eating meat.
Rice. You know, all them white is not for black people, and black people keep on eating white people's food. There's a reason why white people turn sugar white. There's a reason why you turn flour white. There's a reason why you turn rice white. It's to suit him, not me and you.
Oh. Okay. Give Jeffrey a number, big and serious. Make you a link, madam.
Sugar come brown. Rice come brown.
I would definitely get his
flour
number.
brown.
I'll definitely get his
and
number.
we love the white one.
I'll definitely get his number and give it to you, Lou.
Okay.
All right.
But thank you, Carla. Thank you, my brother.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, man. I like how y'all look out for me, man. Big up yourself, man. Respect.
Big up yourself to me. Me really like how you talk.
I grow with my granny, man. She used to lick some sense in her head there. When you know, sometimes I look back, I miss her because I feel like my balance. She was my balance. She saw this world for what. Yeah, man. She saw this world for what.
He's a old guy, you know. He's not young, you know. He's a old man.
And then that not good. I want next year. Next year, may I celebrate my 50th birthday when me old like you, I want some other wisdom there. Maybe we can start back with some pine juice and start dropping at people. If them not come for me.
Don't talk like what you feel of Dr. CD.
No, look here. The reality is that let me thank everybody on the platform that has been concerned about my nephew. We got him back in a week. They have not given us the right to speak about it freely. What are the things that we discover? But let me tell you something. That experience, you would not, my brother, you don't believe me. Oh, if me was a you would it fearful before, me that be paranoid now. But you see, true me that you accept my fate, whatever comes my way, I accept it because just the whole thing about human trafficking and organ harvesting in the country, and I understand why the security force has to sort of not get it out there, because I think they're feeling their way through how we investigate where are the hubs being built, who are recruited in transporting people. For instance, I would tell anybody, if you're in a taxi now and the man put on the AC, put on a mask, because one of the way that they are, and them can't stop me from talking about this because I've said it, what you need to educate people, because some of these taxi drivers are contracted to the rings, and what they do, they put hard drugs in the vent of the AC. You're in there as a passenger talking. So you're taking it, you're inhaling through your nostril and you're also taking it through your mouth. And before you know it, you pass out in a taxi and you end up in a house, you end up in a hole in place without even knowing how you got there.
Yeah, you end up in a ship bottom.
You end up
going to Nicaragua.
And it's not the ordinary man united on my brother.
No, man, a big wigs, man. Them want your liver, them want your heart, they want your kidney and all of them something.
Yeah, man, and them know how to take it out. So me, I wonder if I import them owner people, or these are local people that have been recruited who have no conscience for their Jamaican people and who see money. The Bible said
It's
money
not only Jamaica, you know, man. It's all in America here too, England, Canada. It's a big network. It's not only here, so I know only Jamaica. Me that Georgia right now, but I ever wait there.
Yeah, but what I think what Luke is saying, for a small country like Jamaica, it is getting rampant in Jamaica now.
You see, they're looking for the healthy people. And
Yeah.
anywhere people are healthy, that's where they mostly want to go and be.
Look here, brother.
In America, a lot of people are obese. They don't want obese people. They want people who can hardly find food to eat, so them slim and look good. Them want.
Hmm.
They don't want obese people.
Yes, sir. All right, then. Thank you for calling in. I'll definitely give Luke.
Okay, my brother. You have my number, right?
Yeah, man. I'll give Luke your number.
Okay, good.
Yes, thank you much.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, man. I want to thank everybody on the platform. The youth come home, but severely traumatized. We just I work with him and I work through some stuff with him, but taking a little bit of a time. It's taking a little bit of a time to get him to open up. He spends most of his days isolated and just fearful of stepping outside of his house. And you can understand why. But when you hear of other stories, because you are now a part of that network and you hear of other kids who go through these kind of trauma. And Jeffrey, what is surprising about it, if you ever see some of the people them will look like them are so-called good people, dirty people in a clean clothes will stop your picnic road and say, oh, and them speak to them, well, we have to go back. But again, it goes back to my point, Jeffrey. If government did care so much about Jamaica, given the fact that children go missing, and all a place like the National Stadium, why you don't have cameras there? How much it would have cost you if you have cameras there so you can pick up?
No, man. Luke, what you fail to understand, these governmental people, this government, don't see it fit to put up these CC cameras around the National Stadium or wherever, What they see fit to do is to spend $4 billion or $1 billion on another ending local government election that didn't go anywhere. Until now, the Jamaican people don't know who won the local government election.
Or on a census that we can't get.
Right. On a census that we can't get.
Somebody
$4 billion in a census.
Somebody asked how old I am. I think I'm going to be 50 next year. So this birthday I'll be 49. I saw. I don't know. Nowadays, me all have to get my name. Somebody I call me yesterday, I'm stand up beside the person. I never realized I meet them. I call. My mind never did it. Gone. Me I feel I think, but I walk. I'm telling you, Virgin. You see when one of your one go through it, and I know something where somebody tell you, like you see the picture of them when I say the youth with you see the picture of the youth or them shoot him up. Now when you see that, Jeffrey, when you see a man take him last breath, and I am never the one to take out my camera. But when you see me take out my camera and take a picture of the man and say, I want this to remind. I'm on the radio. Second. I want this to remind me of what this youth, him come back, got deported, did not come back and pick up a gun, came back to Jamaica to make a difference. And today when somebody I tell me say, man say him get bun and cheese and no one give them no bun and him might get money and him no one give them. And you just kill him. Life have no intricate value. You didn't think about the fact that he had 7 children, 5 children. He has his mom, his dad. So many people depend on him. Every time I see this guy, he's like the Pied Piper. I have 10 little picnic. You see a man when you say young picnic for life and him dead and him a reason with them. He takes his bunks about his ice. Mario Wilson, boy. Mario, may I tell you, John knows time. I never know them that The man was talking to me on Wednesday, on Thursday, and he was talking about the rehabilitation school up there in Mona, that we needed to do something for that school. He was looking at schools that are being broken into Arnett, and he was telling me that he's gonna get some more snow cone machine and so forth for us to do some fundraiser.
Hold on there, Luke. Hold on there, Luke. You're saying to me that they killed this gentleman all because of Easter bun and cheese?
Somebody tell me that today, and then them say over Mark Golden money, say Mark Golden, I get the money. But the guy, he was a true philanthropist. All of his relatives and friends abroad, he calls them and he pesters them to help people in Jamaica. This was no political money. I mean, he was sitting with me one day in my office and we were talking about a particular, and him just like him that just said, call, him said, like him that call, him that said, me I call Jeffrey. And him said, Jeffrey, you know, so me have a little old lady down there and she don't have no toilet and 50 black, me I beg you 50 black. Just give me 50 black. And he picked up his phone and he called somebody else. And he was able to put in a nice facility for the lady. This was the kind of guy. He was very resourceful in that regard. And
we have a set of illiterate people.
And for Noah said, Jeffrey, them put a hit out on the youth because the warring factors asked him to choose a side, and him said no. He's promoting Unite Jungle. And him dead, and you can't publicly even mourn. Because when you talk to the people, they're so afraid because he represented the hope that they so badly need. I mean, when you see the man cook food, Jeffrey, and him put the thing around him neck, and him have the little food, and him write down the people them name, and him put like a dignity to it. And that's, you're killing our unsung hero. You're killing those local representatives who, when you can't call your bigger representative. And, you know, I tell you, to see 8 gunshots, 8 gunshots, 8 gunshots, and you're going to tell me you killed somebody's child over bun and cheese, or because you perceive that he was not spreading the scarce benefits and spoil equally, when everybody know that this guy took nothing for himself. It's hard for belief that some people are jungle, do things to people, you know, but you know me know about poor people, in most circumstances I've seen them, they have a heart for other people. It is rich people I find that I have to explain myself to.
Luke, I'm going to say something to you, and I'm begging you, please, in the name of God, be very careful out there. Be very, very careful. That's why I was a big skeptic to bring you back on the program here. Be very careful.
I will not go so gently into this good night. Do not. If I can help one person by being the voice of change, and that is going to my portion, my untimely death will be planned by some ignorant. That is mine.
Yeah, hold on. Hello, good night. Welcome to the Mekotar program. Where are you calling from?
Hi, Jeffrey. How are you?
Hi, how are you doing? Where are you calling from again?
East Kingston, as usual.
East Kingston and Port Royal?
East Kingston.
Okay, ma'am. Go ahead.
I'm a friend of Jeffrey.
No. I think so. Go ahead.
Luke, can I ask you a question? That they kill, which one of the day here? Does he
Friday,
the one that have doing the blog when he's going around and fixing up people's place and feeding people? Like, I'm trying to see if I can remember. If you have a picture, could you put it up for me, please? I'm trying to
hold on there. Does he does a blog on social media, Luke?
No, but him usually put out and promote what he does. So she might know him. she might know who he's talking about. Him not come like me. I don't believe in doing anything and promoting it. That's not my style. Yeah, but I understand it has its credibility. I look what it has done for Auntie Donna. If I had the resources that Auntie Donna have, man, I would just keep on happy, you see. them could send me to heaven so quick. But the truth of the matter is that, yeah, I think it's the same guy, Carla. I personally can send you a picture if again, just Jeffrey can send me a number and I'll send it to you. I wouldn't know how to take over. Or I can send something to Jeffrey.
If it's that guy that I know, I'm not feeling good in my body right now.
I tell you something in the man.
But you know something, Carla, I found
it. Organization, the last one I donated to, this guy was in a wheelchair and he was living in a board house and the house rotten down. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
You know
I'll send Jeffrey a picture. But there's a guy, Jeffrey, up in there's a guy up there in Augusttown. A Rasta guy who got 74 gunshot, lost a leg, lost his hand. His mother was in a wheelchair. There was a friend of ours in the US who used to send him money a month time. Father of three, he lost his relationship and his mother recently died. And when him called me, Jeffrey, and was telling me the situation, and I realized, boy, I really couldn't help. I didn't know what to say to him. I could just inspire him by saying, look, if things, but people are suffering. Now, that's a man that I'd like for you to bring on your program, because people need to see what happened to real people in Jamaica. The story was in the paper, and him live up there. I'm gonna tell you something, Jeffrey. A man would even know star how I feel most time. Most time how I feel when me have to left me and go up there, so I'm a see the man, and yet still, despite losing a leg, him just tell me say how much money him owe the university hospital. I mean, I say, look at that. A man would have got chuggies, a man would have got yes, a man would have got this. I mean, I say Jamaicans not care, but here's a brother who ended up carrying him goods to a place coming out, and some man I look for a Rasta man, and him just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And 74 shots. But not even know how that brother they survived. Every time I see him, I call him Bionic Man. Not even know how him survived. But one of the things that I am inspired by him, that we listen to politicians. I'm inspired by a guy like that because hear what? Them man then a preach nothing more than positive message. And that's what I'm telling you. There is such a beautiful story in how the human spirit, despite the suffering and the hardship that they endure, that there is something in that human being who understand that my life is not worthwhile living if it is not to inspire other people. Every time I see Alex, I'm talk to the man Jeffrey. Jeffrey, that's the only man I get up and go market go buy things for the only thing him can ask me for a market product, I want to see the man mother the other day, and the man tell me when I got through, and knowing that he was not able to do, and his mother was there in a wheelchair caring for him, and I salute some of the community persons who have been very supportive of him, because despite we want to talk, people are gonna say we talk negative. There are a lot of Jamaicans who get up every day. They don't have much, but the health. Like I know a lady who live in Taunton Park by the name of Sharon, and if I call her name, should have killed me. And yesterday we were talking and I was laughing. She said, Luke, every Sunday I cook a big pot of 7 pounds. rice, or anything me I cook, me know is a big pot me have to cook. And sometimes look through the people them not eat one meat, me have to find 4 meat. No, this is a domestic helper. This is a domestic helper. And every Sunday, somebody said to her, I say, you win cash pot every day. And she laugh. She said, you see, you are one classic idiot, you know, little boy. But somebody said, Sharon, how long do you think you can do this for? She said, look, don't stay at your yard and hungry. If you don't have no food on a Sunday, I'm not going to tell you Monday to Saturday, you can't come at me and come get food. And this is what is good about Jamaica. And I'm sure people in the US do it, people in Canada look out for people everywhere. But these are the people who we need to tell their stories, because she told me about the little old man. Yeah, man, I soon send you the picture, man. I said that, man, but me not like how you feel. I want you get out of that feeling there. If you did see me Friday night, I don't cry. I don't cry. Not even when my mother was going through the shadow of death. I didn't cry. But I do a lot of meditation. And I'm praying.
I can't believe me. I can't believe.
You know, Carla and Luke, and we have to wrap up now because we're getting a wrap up signal from the producer here. I tell you something, you know. We are living in some serious times in Jamaica. And there's some dark days ahead.
You can't talk. Half of my family thinks I'm a chat too much and why me come on the program. Oh, you're going to set up with life. And sometimes I just have a laugh off of them still come and say, but me never tell anybody come kill you now. Me, them I look for. So I want to get in it. Me not talk, but how do I sit in silence and watch? Some say it's just a part of it, you know. We have to fulfill the hook, right? But that was never me. It's like the other day I say I'm gonna beat a girl and I just could have passed. Everybody I said I should even get into the argument. I just could have passed. Why are you beating a woman? We're not in slavery.
You know, Luke, as what I think it was one of our national heroes said, I rather die than yonder gallows.
Sam Sharp, I rather die than yonder gallows and remain a slave. Yeah, Sam Sharp. And
we gone back in the 80s. Jesus Christ.
No, but it goes to show that if you have a crime plan, ma'am, and the crime plan is not planned at the community level. Community must speak, you know. You must speak as to the quality of life you want to live. Now me see in a jungle, people are fix up back them house and people are trying to get some dignity. But if there's a constant threat of security, you can build a house so other people can occupy it, because it's them or us. And it's time that we get out of this informal culture, or every Jamaican like a pitney I say it now, snitch gets stitch. And we're coming from 1980s when you used to hear them say, you know, like an informer for dead. And so if you look at the culture now, Carla, and you look at what have been said, you remember the man will come out and say, I love my car, I love my bike, I love my money and thing. Most of all, I love my browning. The next day, why do we even repeat this? And I say to people, don't say things around me that don't mean it. You don't understand its meaning. Nothing black, no good. Look at yourself. And you do a self-evaluation. You cannot say that to me. You cannot say that to me.
My God.
Right? And so we have sung it, we have said it, but what we have not done, Jeffrey, is to stand up for brotherhood and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, for this Jamaica to be under God. That's what we have not done. So everybody,
human race.
Yeah, man, in a Jamaica now, you know, see it. Prime time news are gone, and when you look, Shaga Shamak Garam from India. If you have a marriage problem, if you have visa problem, we have idolized Obia and the belief that somebody controls the astrology, and so they can tell me what date and time Luke George is going to get rich. Now, if it never work at India, what you do, yeah? It never work at India. What you doing here? But so now you notice, Minister Babsy Green, she say a culture. So she go around to every little pocket church. Why every Zion church and labor right, the leader them are labor right? Come on, something is fundamentally wrong. Do we have all Catholics that are PMP? No. Do we have Church of God? But almost every revival church, Jeffrey, and look at it. Look at what you're seeing emerging. Everybody know. You know what? Almost everybody in a Jamaica wear either you buy the ring or you got tattoo it on your skin. The witch's charm, the witch's ring, because it said that it's the only potent symbol that sends back the blow. Everybody in a Jamaica believe in that. If them head at them, I hope you them, I hope you them. So nowadays, Jeffrey,
you know, that is why, Luke, you have been on the program for a while. But the other day I was on the program here and I was talking. And I hear this song in my head. What a woe situation, what a woe. Lightning and thunder, weeping and wailing, what a woe. God no shit, Jamaica.
What a way you turn one a man prophet. Hey, you carabao, sir. Prophet Tavares. And them the people that make money with them liar prophecy. You know, say I pay a kick down and back down when you cast out demon now. And you cast out demon in one full of room with sinners versus sinners, and every sinner can judge that. I said, look here, Jeffrey. You and your audience, you are a wonderful audience. Have a wonderful evening. I shall sleep in peace. I am at peace with
Hold on before you go, caller, and before you go, Luke. Caller, thank you for calling in. We'll send the picture over to you.
Yes, sir. Waiting.
Thank
Jeffrey,
you.
stop put out yourself information. Your audience does say no money come.
My heart hurt me.
Thank you. Where is the Luke?
Stop put out yourself information.
No, the producer said we need a computer, so we have to beg. Anyway, because, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the platform, I'm asking you to donate $10, $15, $20 to the Met with Our program for us to upgrade the equipment. This is coming from your boy Luke George Cooke. It takes cash to care, and this program has been a source of inspiration. It has offered hope to a lot of hopeless Jamaicans, and it has given us the opportunity to speak about Jamaica land we love. For it to prosper, like a car that cannot move without gasoline or electricity, we need generous people to show that they are not just here to make we talk, but they will put their money where they're getting value for that money. So I say to you, $10, $20. Somebody might be able to give up to $1,000. This is not a church, but we're sure that you will reap the reward for the contribution you make today. Good night, my brothers and sisters. If we're going to be a director in the company called Jamaica Land We Love, then let us not just talk and criticize each other and tear each other down, but let us put our collective energy. We're going to develop the voluntary sheet, and we're going to say what we want. We want people who can write. We want people in healthcare. We want people who are social worker, and we're going to build a social network. So wherever the problem is in Jamaica, you're not just going to be a listener anymore. You're going to be a good doer of the things that we say. And we need you. You are our partners in what we call campaign to save the heart and soul of the Jamaica land we love. Love you all. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for listening to me. I know sometimes when the things that may not have no sense, but if you get to know me, I'm not so fool, me have common sense.
Thank you very much for coming on, Luke George Cooke. Thanks to Joan Webley, Dr. Rupert Francis, head of the Jamaican Diaspora Crime Intervention Prevention Task Force. Remember, before you all go have to play this video, but remember that come May 10th, 2024 rather, May 10th, 2024, the Make We Talk program will be live from New York City. Pardon me?
I'll be getting a ticket. Somebody in a half of me a ticket, man. New York, me had it for my birthday. In New York.
You're going down low, we can hardly hear you.
I said I'll be in New York. I was offered a ticket back.
You're going down low again.
Look here now at the eclipse, man. At the eclipse.
All right. Thanks very much to Luke George Cooke, human rights activist, Dr. Rupert Francis, head of the Jamaican Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force, and Miss Joan Webley. She is a talk show host on Best FM in Jamaica. Thank you for coming on. May God bless you all, and may God bless Jamaica land we love. Have a great night, everyone. Good night, one and all. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. And I want to say thanks to everyone who make the subscription up to 10,000. Make it to 15,000. Thank you all very much. Have a great night.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.